Hey, there you go. Great. Hello. I'm speaking now. Are we actually going? He lives. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Ginger Island, the special edition of the Friday Night Social. It's not even nighttime here. It's still the afternoon. Still the afternoon for Mikey in Chicago. I think Darren and Scott over in the UK. Is it nice and warm over there? Are you nice and warm?
No. I've got
is it a bit chilly?
On, woolly jumper, and I've got 2 hot water bottles on my right foot to help me with my poor circulation. But I've got a beer, so that'll help me through the night.
I'm in bed.
So this is. I just want to say a big hello to everyone in the chat. I just did this, but I thought we were streaming and we weren't. So big shout out to Billy Collins, Fax, Wallingly Pagan, Hayton Pud, Sarah Davis, Joe Lefty. We've got also Politics Social, whoever that is, and David Gerardo. And we've also got Mikey Famine in the chat. How you doing, Mikey?
Hello.
Mikey's stuck. Mikey's frozen on my screen.
Yeah.
Are you frozen, Mikey?
Wayne. Same thing. Graham, you're going to have to understand You're the one with the bad internet. So everyone's going to freeze for you. We're not in a tornado. We're not in a typhoon.
Yeah. I've got really lousy internet.
Yeah. We're all good here.
And because it's raining, I'm getting no power to the solar panels. So I might run out of energy. I don't know. In more ways than one.
Have you considered a hydroelectric laptop?
Yes. For like 5 seconds. Anyway, this is the first Politics Social Friday Night Social we've done since the election, Mikey.
Yeah.
Scott. The one that you said wouldn't go the way it went.
I'm never going to say what you want me to say. And I'm never going to say that bad guys are going to win because I'm a good guy, Graham, and good guys always fight the bad guys.
Yeah.
To the end.
I mean, I did say all the billionaires wanted them to win and all the billionaires are evil. And the billionaires in life get what they want, don't they? The bastards. So what can we do, Mikey? How do we fight back?
Well, I just want to let the Taylor Swift fans know that I am not a part of Graham's statements. I think it's okay that she's a billionaire. I would never ever say anything negative about Taylor Swift like Graham just did. But
I don't think that Taylor Swift is long for this world unless she gets out of America quick. I think Trump's just going to turn up on day one and just murder a bunch of people because he can legally. It's your mad constitution, which is madder than a box of frogs that's just been given a load of ketamine. It is just off its tits. It allows the commander-in-chief to commit crimes and get away with it. And just say, it's part of my duty of care, my duty of candor, my duty of bullshit.
Speaking of ketamine, Elon is in the White House, and he is properly doing what Elon does best, ruining things. So, I mean, as much as you told me I have everything to fear, I tried to remind you they couldn't run a fucking campaign. They're not going to be able to run the government. They're already infighting. I give this maybe 6 months.
But Mikey, they don't need to run the government. They just need to kill people. He can legally now tell his supporters or whoever to go and kill everyone who's protesting outside the White House, like literally murder them in the streets, maybe rape them first and then murder them. I don't know, or maybe murder them and then rape them. I don't know.
Hey Graham,
and it will be legal.
Hey Graham, remember?
It will be legal.
Hey Graham, remember when you asked me why I had a firearm?
Yes.
It's because of tyrannical governments, you tit. I told you. And you wanted me to be unarmed through all of this. I told you. That is why Americans are armed, because we are going to exercise our rights, and if someone tries to stop us from exercising our rights, we have other rights that help us protect our rights. So, Graham, I love that you get to say the I told you so, and you're so happy with your little Indiana Jones hat, and you're just so pleased as punch. But guess what, my friend? Unfortunately, America is full of Americans. Good luck, partner.
It is unfortunate.
Good luck, partner.
You'll be begging to come back.
I'm trying to get to Ginger Island. I ain't worried about going to UK.
You can be our 87th brother.
Or you know, Graham, your little island looks like a pretty good 51st state, if you ask me.
It looks like it's bloody underwater at the moment. We got it all dried out. We built a little wall. It was a beautiful wall.
I was talking about England.
It's a big wall.
And then all the water just came from the sky, and it came down. So why isn't everyone asking Trump where his fucking wall is? That's what I want to know. Oh, by the way, hey Darren, hey Scott, hey Mikey, hello everyone. Hello Ollie. Ollie's just joined us.
I can't hear anyone. I don't even know if I'm coming through.
We can hear you.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
We hear you.
But yeah, Mikey,
yeah.
Why did no one ask Mr. Trump where his beautiful wall went? He had 4 years to build a beautiful wall, and he never built it. I didn't hear him get asked about that once.
Because the media is on his side. Look at Joe Scarborough and Minka. They fucking flew down on a red eye or on a private jet down to Mar-a-Lago because they needed to open up the communication lines with Trump for this new administration. No, you were scared that he was going to go after journalists, and you wanted to go down there and kiss the onion ring before he started rounding people up. That's what it was. So, I mean, some people are going to bend the knee, and a lot more people are going to bend the knee before it's all said and done. But not all of us.
We've got an SOS coming through, Mikey. We've got an SOS coming through from Ollie, who says he can't hear anyone. I suggest you turn your speakers up, my friend. Speakers up. I can hear everyone. I don't know. Can I hear Scott? Scott, say something.
Something.
Okay, good. I can hear you. You look like you're holding on for dear life. Are you hanging off something?
I'm in my bag.
Ooh, we're in bed with Scott.
Oh, wait, the microphone. The microphone. So yeah,
I'm keeping the bed warm.
We're gonna be okay.
We just got a super chat come in from Tim Ballum, but I haven't sent Mikey our wonderful super chat animation, so unfortunately he won't be able to do that. But I will mime it on the screen. Watch me mime it. Super chat. That's from Tim Ballum, and he says, "Just wait till you have to be a signed up MAGA to own a gun."
Come get it.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that, Tim.
Come get it. Come get mine.
Interest of the gun manufacturers to make it difficult for criminals, paedophiles, nitwits, half-wits, fuckwits to own weapons. They want everyone in America, no matter what horrific crimes they may have committed in the past, to be able to buy a gun and then possibly go shoot for school.
Do you know why the Democrats? Do you know why the Democrats didn't go around and round up all of the Republicans and all of everybody's weapons? Because it's fucking dangerous. So, I don't think they're gonna come get anybody's anything anytime soon. Like, I love like Trump's big crazy ideas, but when it comes to like the on the ground, what actually happens to people, who the hell's gonna do it?
Are you allowed to carry a gun in Washington D.C.?
Yeah.
You're allowed to walk around with one in your pocket or in your holster.
Yes. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go to a protest against Trump in Washington D.C., everyone in that protest could be armed with weapons.
Yes.
With guns.
At January 6th, there were armed people. At January 6th, there were armed men at January 6th.
Yeah. Is there any restrictions on like the firepower? Can you have an AR-15, for instance?
Depends on where you're from, and what you buy and what license. It depends on where you're from and which kind of license you have.
Okay. So say you have the correct license, you have a license to drill, right? You can turn up with an AR-15 and blow shit up, yeah?
No, what? I don't know this leap you're making. You're asking me like very different questions. Are you allowed to own firearms? Yes. Are you allowed to go to DC? Yes. Are you allowed to go around certain areas in DC? Yes. Are you allowed to commit crimes? No. Like, this is like, what are you talking about?
No. I mean, with a gun. Are you allowed to do it with a gun?
You're not allowed to commit crimes. It's a crime.
But what I'm saying is, at the moment, Trump can murder all the people who are protesting against him, right?
No, Graham.
What?
Lord have mercy. Like, what country are you? Are you sure you're in Ginger Island? What the hell?
The Supreme Court ruling said that Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants.
I don't know if anyone can actually hear me, but I can't hear any of you guys.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, he's coming through. Is he coming through?
Yes.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I can't hear you.
The arrow.
That's the problem your end, mate.
Yeah, he's
I
got
think
the
Ollie
wrong
has-
audio thing.
I think Ollie will
He's
have to
got-
redo his message.
He stuck his
through
jack in the wrong
through the
socket.
dance.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
there's
where were we?
there's plenty of of reports of people like that refuse to go up on January 6th, like past the magnetometers, like the metal detectors, to get into the ellipse and listen to the speech and all that stuff. There was tons of people that once they saw the metal detectors, like, actually, we're gonna hang out here by the curb. We're gonna just hang back. Yeah, we're just gonna hang back, and then yeah, that's what they did. They just didn't go to where they would be searched.
Okay, so Mikey, just go through with me just the legal process. So it's January the 20th, and Trump has just sworn on the Bible to uphold the Constitution and defend America from its enemies, foreign and domestic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he pulls out like a little gun, a little pissy gun, like the one that fucking James Bond uses. Pulls out his little pissy gun, and he shoots Joe Biden in the face in the inauguration, right? What then happens? Does he get arrested? Does he go to jail? Does he stand trial? Or does he just go, I'm above the law? The Supreme Court said I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Hey, Graham.
No, Graham.
Hey,
That's
Graham.
not what he does.
Hey, Graham, what's the job of the Secret Service?
To protect the presidents.
And who else?
No one.
Yeah, see, you got to read a little bit deeper into the brochure, sir. It is also former presidents also have lifetime Secret Service protection. So if you raise a gun at a former president, I don't know, Secret Service might have to deal with you. That'd be a dangerous. Their job is completely outside of the law. Completely, they do whatever the fuck they want to do to protect the president. End of. So if he wants to roll that dice, that's a very risky D20 to be rolling, man, in a dungeon. I don't know if I'd roll that.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, Mr. Scott.
Yeah. Graham, he has immunity. He has immunity not against just committing random crimes. It's about immunity for crimes that he commits in the
Pursuant to his office.
As Mikey, shut the fuck up for a minute. In the duty of being a president. So if he can't just go around shooting people in the face, because it has to be in the line of what he's doing as a president.
Yes, he's protecting America from its enemies. Joe Biden is part of the woke elite, MAGA, and not MAGA, the other one.
You're taking it to like the that it's not.
Lentil eating commies that won't let him build his wall.
I mean, you're literally like taking it to an extreme that it's not.
Yes,
but I mean, here's the thing. I don't think they would have to prove in a court of law that Joe Biden presented a clear and present threat to the state of America or the Constitution, because it'll never go to a court of law because he has been given godlike powers by the Supreme Court.
No, he hasn't.
No one on this planet as psychotic and as powerful as Trump's going to be in 2 months' time.
No, if you read further into it, it's not just he can go around and do whatever he wants, shoot whoever he wants in the face. Like, that is not what he can do. That's not.
That's what Graham picked up.
Yep.
Why do you believe that?
I don't. Good question. Good
Scott?
question.
Yeah,
It's not true.
The
Graham.
Supreme
Why
Court.
do you believe it?
Good question.
The Supreme Court didn't say.
No, I know what the Supreme Court
crimes-
said. Do you know what the Supreme Court said?
No.
Yes, they did
No,
not
he does
define
not.
crime.
No, you're taking it to
didn't
a
say,
place that it's
well,
not.
you know, he's allowed to commit a little bit of burglary and a little bit of buggery, but he's not allowed to commit, murder. He's not allowed to go around eating people's
He's
eyeballs.
not allowed to commit burglary either.
Why not? He
Oh
stole the White House. Got away with it, mate.
Graham, can I ask you like a serious question? Like, are you actually trolling us, or do you like not understand the decision? Because I feel like he is trolling, but I also feel like there's a little bit of like there's like a
been going on for the last 10 minutes.
well, I mean, but I feel like there's a nugget that he doesn't get with it. Like the Supreme Court said that his official acts, he still has immunity over his official acts. So things that aren't official acts is what the delay is because they haven't decided.
Okay, and
what
who decides, Mikey? Who decides the official act? The president. Ta-da!
No,
we don't.
that's the problem.
No, we
There
don't.
is the hiccup.
No, we
That is the
don't.
problem. The president doesn't fucking decide.
Graham, you think he just makes up laws? The president just doesn't make up laws.
We found it, Scott. We flushed it out and we found it. Okay, Graham, that's the
He
issue.
doesn't have to make any laws. Do you
That's
understand?
what you're saying, though. You're saying he makes the law.
Yes.
I have to say,
No,
Graham's
he
got
doesn't.
a big
He's
shitty
not.
teeth
He's
right
above
now,
the law.
saying all
It
night.
doesn't,
You
Scott,
really can't make
Scott,
laws.
Scott, it doesn't matter what laws exist or even what laws he makes. He is above them. He is
can't
a
make them.
divine
He
right,
can't make
absolutist
them. He's
ruler
not
of the United
above
States of
the
America.
law. It doesn't work
And whatever
like that.
fucked
That's
up
not
shit
how it works.
he wants to do, he can legally do it.
Okay, Graham. Okay, you were right about the election, so you're right about this. I'll wait 2 or 3 months, and then he'll go around shooting everyone in the face, and we'll all come back here and say, "Yeah, Graham, you were right."
I'm not saying that he will.
That's what he wants us to do. That's what he wants to happen.
Legally he
That's what he
can.
wants to happen.
Correct. Just so he can be right again.
Concerning.
I told you.
Hang on, this is particularly concerning,
I
right?
told you he could burgle your
Because-
house.
Scott, he has said that he wants to go after Kamala Harris. He wants to go after Nancy Pelosi.
What
He
do you
wants to
think
go
he
after
means
Joe
by
Biden.
that?
He wants to go after AOC. He's got a kill list, right? And he wants to lock them up.
Kill it.
But I don't think he's going to have the jurisdiction to lock them up through the DOJ. So what's he going to do? Just kill them. Because he can do that. Like, arresting them is a big...
Lord have mercy.
His political
He can
opponents.
just kill them.
Can't
And there's
do
nothing
that.
to stop him.
He can't assassinate political opponents. That is not
Yes,
what
he can.
the immunity thing is about.
Scott, if you listened to what one of the judges said in the Supreme Court, they gave an example of the president just demanding that, SEAL Team 7 or whatever they're fucking called, go and assassinate their political rival, and that would be okay. And the Supreme Court was like ka-ching, yes it is. The 6 members, the Republican members of the Supreme Court. It was actually
So
brought up in
Graham,
the-
hold on, Scott, because he's painted himself into a big idiot corner. Let me get him out of here. Is Trump part of SEAL Team 6? Is the president part of SEAL Team 6?
What? No, he's the commander-in-chief, mate. It's a thing that the
Right.
president becomes when he becomes
Do you
president.
think
He's
Trump can
commander-in-chief of the armed services.
Okay.
I thought you'd know that. Being
No,
American.
but that wasn't the question, though. Did they ask, can the president pull out a pistol and shoot somebody, or did they say, can he order SEAL Team 6? But you've said that this is your own words that I'm using right now. You said he could
Yes,
pull
yes,
out
yes.
a gun and
Okay,
start
so here's
shooting
the
people.
question.
And then you said,
Yeah,
and then remember when the
Joe Biden
Supreme
in that
Court said that he could order SEAL Team 6 to do stuff? He's not part of SEAL Team 6.
He's the commander-in-chief of the armed services.
Is he part
America.
of SEAL Team 6?
Yes, technically. He's the
No, he's
commander-in-chief.
not. You
That's
do
what
not
commander-in-chief
understand
means.
what teams mean. You don't know what Navy SEALs are. You are just saying words to me right now.
Okay, so who's in charge of the Navy SEALs? Is it the commander-in-chief? Because that sounds like the role that is in charge of them.
Okay. So the CEO
like saying-
CEO drives all the trucks. Is that what you're telling me?
Eisenhower, part of Easy Company? No. But did he technically command Easy Company? Well, on D-Day he did, yeah.
So all the CEOs of all of Amazon. So Jeff Bezos is the driver for all the trucks for Amazon. No, he's not. He's the CEO.
And if he says something
Or
to
owner.
someone who works for him, they have to do it because they work for him. Now,
No,
usually
no,
they'll
they
say,
don't. No,
I'm
they-
not
and
doing
Graham,
that. That's illegal.
Graham, hold on.
The Supreme
'Cause
Court has made it legal.
Hold on. That's the other thing that you're getting wrong. No one has to do what the fuck he says.
What, you don't think people want to do what he says?
Right.
You don't think that half the
There are some
population would jump at the chance to kill AOC? Of course they would.
certain
I think you're
people.
living in Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Okay. Well then,
I
I'll let
think
you're the American. You're the American here. You're the American here. I'll let you finish.
Really not. I've got some super chats to read out before
Okay.
we continue this argument. Tim Ballon, £5 super chat. If he's doing it as the president, he's immune from prosecution. Yes, Tim, that's what I'm saying. Urgent question for Bowler Hatman, who can maybe hear us. I don't know. Where's
I
the
can
bowler
now.
hat?
Yay!
Oh, brilliant. Okay, Ollie, Where's the bowler hat, man? That's an urgent question from Puninator. Yoni says, SCOTUS dropped the ball by making it non-specific. I disagree, Yoni. I think that's not a bug, that's a feature. They did that on purpose, so Trump can do something. So, Mikey, explain to me, like, if the Secret Service don't, that are protecting Biden, don't jump on him and shoot him in the face there and then. If he shoots Biden in the head on January the 20th and says, I did that as a part of my official duties as the President of the United States, what will happen?
Impeachment.
Will he be arrested?
Yeah. He's going to be first off, he's going to be impeached, and I don't think it'd be hard to get
impeached. He's going to be impeached, Mikey.
Listen, hey, Mr. Scratchy Internet, you quit interjecting because you're choppy as shit. Hold on.
You sweet summer child. You think that he's going to get impeached for anything that he does?
Well, Graham, I don't know what you want me to say because you won't let me answer anything. So I'll just let you tell me all about America and exactly what's going to happen next.
The word impeachment. He's already been impeached twice. What happened? Nada. Zip. Nothing. What's going to happen the next time? Nothing. Because he'll need a 60 majority in the Senate for it to go through, and it's not there. The Republicans will.
I think the horror of Trump shooting someone in the face on live television who used to be the president would give the 60% majority to impeach him.
No, they would love it. All Republicans want to shoot people in the face. Ask Graham. He's a billionaire lover.
Yes.
Fucking unbelievable Graham,
Trump
dude.
knows he's a rapist, and they voted for him anyway. They voted for a rapist.
First of all,
they will leave their children with.
They don't believe that was a legitimate.
Yes, they do.
They think that was politically motivated.
Thank you, Scott. They think it's fake, Graham. They think it's all fake. They think it's all made up. We made it up. Us five made it up about him.
Patronizing and condescending for your average American. They've known Trump for decades, but as in president mode, they've known him for over 8 years now of what he's like. They know what he's like. There's no excuses left.
Okay. Because you won't listen to reason, so
true.
Okay.
What was the reason? What's the reason?
I can't tell you any reason.
And you said he'll get impeached, Mikey. You said he'll get impeached. I just laughed because that's already happened twice, and fuck all happened because of it. This is a man who gave state secrets to the Russians, which led to 150 Secret Service agents being assassinated around the world.
Can I finish my point, or are you done?
Yes.
Once he has been impeached, douche, he's not the president anymore. He doesn't have his magic powers anymore.
What? Yeah, I just said he's not getting impeached, mate. Were you not paying attention?
You said that, but you are not the bastion of truth and democracy in this country. You say a lot of things that are wrong. You say a lot of things that are wrong, but you say some things that are right. And just because you're right on some things doesn't mean that you. So Graham, you're telling me this. That there is no possibility that any Republicans would vote to impeach Trump if he literally committed murder on film.
No, they wouldn't.
Okay.
They wouldn't.
Let me know. Hey, chat. Let me know. Chat. Let me know.
I think that you think that these people are reasonable, that they're good people deep down. They're not. They're psychopaths deep down. They are evil.
No, they're broke. They're broke.
And they will enjoy watching their enemies suffer.
They are broke people who have been saddled with a bunch of bullshit, and this lying piece of garbage told them that their bills would be cheaper, and that's why they voted for him. Harris.
No, they voted for him because he's a rapist, and they want to rape people too. That's why they voted for him.
Okay.
Yeah, they went, I love this guy. He gets away with murder. I'd like to get away with murder. If I vote for him, there's a good chance I'll get away with murder. Because I really hate my neighbours and I want to kill them.
I wonder why no one else has come up with that political scheme that you came up with, that they just wanted to be rapists. Huh. Yes. I never thought about that. All the women all the white women that voted for him just wanted to be rapists, huh?
Yes.
And they'll be totally cool with him shooting people. You're right. Yes. All the white women that got him elected.
Of course they will.
Okay.
Of course they will. They were totally cool with him raping people. They were totally cool with the January the 6th, which resulted in the deaths of 9 people, including 2 cops. I mean, they're happy for him to kill a couple of cops. Mate, I think your vision of America is very different from what I see from outside. What I see is a country that, there's a lot of people out there who will smile, nice as pie, every day, but then one day they'll just kill you because they're like that. Sorry. Maybe
what the hell
all over the world are like that. But America in particular, it does seem to have its fair share of, killy stabby people. What's your prison population per capita? What is it? 1 in 100?
You got to fly back here, don't you?
World, it's like 1 in 1,000.
You got to fly back here, don't you? We'll add one.
What's your murder rate? What is it? 5 in every 100,000? In the UK, it's 1 in every 100,000. That's a hell of a murder rate. Washington, D.C. has got a higher murder rate than Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
So my question to you then, Graham, is how... my question to you then, Graham, is how did Trump get to that many years of life if America is such a dangerous place?
Because he's rich and people love him for being rich.
But there's a lot of broke old people. How did they survive in this Wild West shoot 'em up cowboy western? How did they survive?
Many of them didn't. I mean,
hundreds of millions of them.
Violent death in America than any other advanced economy in the world. Like it's the violent death capital. If that's what you want.
Okay.
But it is.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You're just blathering on about all of these side issues instead of talking about the main issue. Who the fuck cares about your imaginary assassination attempt? Can we talk about the fucking election? And what actually happened during the election and the results of the election instead of, I wonder what Graham thinks about what's going to happen next. Like, that's cool, but let's actually talk about something that did happen. What did happen, what we did see, was that a lot of people, Mexicans, blacks, women, voted against their interest. That's the facts of it. He made the redder states... Oh, my goodness.
He didn't.
So he didn't get 2% more.
Against their interests, Mikey.
Okay. You just said he's going to shoot everybody, and I just said that that's against their interests, and you're telling me that that's incorrect. So I'll let you finish.
No. They're going to shoot the people that those people don't like.
That's the same people, Graham.
People in the Middle East.
It's the same people,
or in
Graham.
Vietnam or North Korea. Like it's not a big deal.
It's the same people.
What?
He's gonna go after the people that. He's going to go after the people that voted for him. And that's what I was trying to get to earlier. Okay.
Is he?
Yes, dude. Because he doesn't care.
You're predicting the future now. Where's your crystal balls? Show me your crystal balls, Mikey. I love this. I'm not allowed to predict the future, but Mikey is.
I'm literally telling you that he's trying to lock up these people's family members, and you're saying, I can predict the future. Okay.
Yes, but people hate their families. We saw this in the Brexit vote in the UK. People voted specifically to fuck over their own children. they voted for it because, unfortunately, 49.9% of people are fucking sadistic, crazy people.
Or they're stupid and they're easily tricked into voting against their own interest. So when they realize that it's against their own interest, all of them were like, "Oh, can we have another referendum? Can we just fix it?" No, you can't fix it.
I used to think that, Mikey, and now I think actually no, because their interests lie in making other people's lives hell. And if they can do that one way or another, very noisy bird, if they can do that,
damn cockatiel.
Then, if they can do that, then awesome. It's like, yay, we did it. We made someone else's life hell. Made someone else's life worse than mine. I don't think that is in their interests, isn't it?
But you're missing the... So Rishi Sunak isn't like the reason. Well, he's part of the reason, but he isn't the whole reason that the Tories lost the prime ministership, right? It was a myriad of things, and a lot of it had to do with the finances and Liz Truss's brilliant sacking of the entire fucking country got broker in her fucking 20 days or whatever it was that she got to stay in there. So like. Those things change people's minds. Throwing 20% tariff on everything, whilst promising the lowest gas, whilst promising a robust economy, while he can't deliver on anything that he says. So while you're talking about what are we going to do, what is he going to do when he has unleashed all... So what is he going to do when he's unleashed all of these rabid, crazy farmers and all these crazy MAGA people and all the? So what are they going to do when they get real hungry? And he's supposed to be the one feeding them, and they're broke because Amazon has now added fucking $10 on everything.
So at the moment in Venezuela, there is a huge problem because they have a tyrannical government led by Nicolas Maduro, who is a nightmare, right, in every way, shape, and form. And they make the fact that the peasants, the working class people, don't have any food. They make it an asset. They call it the Maduro diet. They actually have turned it around through the joys of marketing and said, actually, no, it's a good thing because before Nicolas Maduro was president, you were eating too much, and now he's made you slim down. So that is a good thing. And the same thing will happen in the States, mate. I think you have a lot more faith in your fellow countrymen and women than I do. Even in my fellow countrymen and women, I don't have that much faith when it comes to voting the way I would like them to, for the reasons that I would like them to. I think a lot of people vote because they just don't care, or they really actually do want to. They mean harm for a group of people. I think Trump said he will round off all the immigrants and send them out of the country. So anyone who voted for him, who's an immigrant, right, was like, yes, I want that to happen to me, because then I'll have an exciting story about my children being put in a cage and me being dropped out of a plane over the Caribbean Sea. And you think I'm fucking around, but it's happened before. Not in America, but, you know, the first time for everything. We've got a couple of super chats that I've got to go through. Scott's face is an absolute fucking picture. He's so horrified. Tim,
you're off base, man. We're trying to get you back on the rails, and you're just fucking flailing, brother. I don't know how to help you anymore. I gave up.
Can I come in now and
sorry,
start,
Mikey.
you know?
Tim Ballum says, can we have some of what Mikey's smoking? Jump
it's called
James
weed.
says, I wonder what Mikey and Scott Billings happened in 1932 to 33 to democracy in Germany. One Angry Pagan says, Graham, I abhor ignoring nuance. Most Trump voters are Republican voters, not MAGA, i.e. stupid evil and intentional evil, not either or. But I don't see that. I think that they know who Trump is. I don't think anyone's surprised. I think that he made it very clear what he wants to do. He's got a list of enemies. He's got a list of grievances. He wants to free all the people who committed crimes. He wants to put in jail people who haven't committed crimes. And he wants to deport everyone who looks not white. And Tim Ballum says, Mikey, we don't vote for a PM. Thank you very much.
You vote for the party and then the party selects it, yeah.
This trust only survived 44 days. Unfortunately, Trump is going to last 4 years at the least.
Not with that ticker.
I think it's over.
Girls, you're both very pretty. let us.
I say that all the time.
Graham has lost weight while he's been out on Ginger Island. No doubt about it.
My dad bod's looking good, I would say.
So, I want to get in on this as well, because I want to ask Mikey, because I've seen a lot of other US commentators, and I want to get your take on this as well.
Thank you, a rational person.
I think one of the big things that we saw was the economy.
Yes.
I think that's the big thing. And this was something I said before. Biden had not been telling the American people how good he'd actually been on the economy. Was it inflation causing them a problem? Yes. But it was going down. The Inflation Reduction Act was amazing. Amazing. We should be talking more in the UK and in Europe about how those subsidies brought in by that are going to be affecting UK manufacturing and European manufacturing, taking jobs from Europe and Europe over to America because of the subsidies that has unleashed. You've got the CHIP Act, which built a new chip factory in Nevada. And all of us have always talked about, well, what happens if China invades Taiwan? After all, they've got this massive factory that produces most of the world's microchips.
NVIDIA.
Not anymore. Yeah. That new factory in Nevada, as I believe this year, outproduced that factory in Taiwan. And that is something I don't think you saw. And I think it was Biden's entire almost term not saying, we are doing this. This is what's happening. And I think until the end of the day, I think the Americans turn around and went, well, when I go to the gas pump, gas is more expensive, and my groceries are more expensive. I think that's what they cared about.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what they ignored.
So to piggyback on that, I think Kamala actually had a policy platform or policy point specifically for that, but they didn't talk about it enough. And that was like the inflation was bad. Like our little mini recession sucked. But the worst part of it was we found out that a lot of this was like manufactured, and people were saying that they were having all of these like supply chain issues and and they jacked up the price on things, and us being good little soldiers, we paid it. So then come to find out, you guys have been getting money from you've been subsidized. Then why are we paying more? We were scammed. Like in the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years, the amount of increase on prices has all been blamed on inflation. When come to find out, half of these companies were just inflating shit because, hey, inflation's up, so let's just see how much we can get away with. And if they try to stop us, then we'll tap it down. So going after the greedflation that also took place, they didn't talk about it enough. It was on the table, but they didn't talk about it because they wanted to, I don't know, defend themselves.
They wanted to go after Republicans voters for some reason.
Yeah, they wanted to
go after Republicans that were terrified. Like, I do not understand why she went on the stage with and toured with Liz Cheney, because Liz Cheney is not exactly a popular figure in the Republican Party. At one time she was, but she's only now very popular with a very small fraction of the never Trumper Republicans. Yeah. I don't think that won over many Republicans, to be honest.
Well, and this is what the problem with that plan was in states like Missouri, specifically, or in some cases in New York, they voted for Trump for president, and then there was a ballot initiative to enshrine abortion in their state. So they got to have their cake and eat it too. They didn't have to worry about their bodies being came for. You know what I mean? They didn't have to worry about what happens if my 20-year-old goes out to the clubs and someone slips something to drink, and then the worst thing happens, and now she has to carry the child.
Yeah.
To term.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think they're going to go for a national abortion ban now that they've got control of all three?
Yeah, and the way they're ususing some 1867, something like that.
Cornstalk Act.
Yeah, and pretty much what that'll do is it'll make it illegal to transport any of the materials that are needed for an abortion, or pretty much anything that would be needed in a woman's care, like clinic or something like that. So even if you have a doctor, even if you have an OBGYN, or you have your regular checkups and stuff like that, it'll be hard to do because these doctors are not going to stick around in America, or they're not going to stay in the practice. They'll just retire because they're not going to try to figure out if I'm going to get arrested or not for just trying to do a pap smear. Just because I have a speculum in my office, does that mean that I'm going to be
a nationwide abortion ban? Yeah. I absolutely guarantee it, man. We just got another super chat from Tim. Look at the rapid developments of the risk, the architecture. America's actions are the reasons for the arrested development. I'll have to look that up, mate. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Mikey on this one. I think that the abortion ban is going to happen, and it will also affect IVF treatment as well, and pornography, because it does actually say in the Cornstalk Act, pornographic materials, immoral, illicit, and pornographic materials. So it will be a pornography ban by the back door, and that's going to get interesting very, very fast, especially when you've got states that actually have abortion rights codified in their constitutions now. They are going to be up against the federal government, who are going to be like, no, it's illegal. And you're going to have a similar situation that you had a few years ago, where specific states had medical cannabis, medical marijuana licenses going out, and people could buy it legally, but federally it's still illegal. So you had this battle between the local state police, who couldn't stop you, but the feds could. And this overreach by the government into the bodies of women is just, it's on another level of insanity when you think about the fact that the Republicans, the Republican Party, used to be the party that said there's nothing worse than someone coming to your door and saying, I'm from the government, I'm here to help. It's lovely when a millionaire film actor says that, who's a millionaire, doesn't need any help off the government, but funny guy, he got to set the agenda for the next 40, 50 years, Ronald Reagan. And now we've got Trump, and he's going to set the agenda in America for the rest of my life. The rest of my life, it's going to be what?
But see that the only,
Guys,
only...
I'm gonna drop out. Okay.
Bye, Scott.
Been lovely.
Okay, Scott.
I
Thank you
love
for coming.
all.
Love you, man.
I'm tired. I'm gonna drop out.
Okay.
Okay.
I've noticed.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Wait.
Hi, Scott. I think Scott's a bit tired.
See.
He's a bit
You
winning.
know, I never noticed actually with the every 2 minutes seeing his tonsils.
Is Mikey still there? Because Mikey's been
Yeah.
frozen for the last 43 minutes for me.
No,
Yeah.
it's you.
Well,
And now
saying is-
Scott's kind of frozen. Scott's picture
Scott is frozen.
Yeah.
That is not a trick. Scott is frozen, and I'm not taking it off the screen
Okay.
because it's funny.
He's still with
take
us.
And the other thing is, so we're going to talk about the American people here. So just put Trump in a little box and put him in a box on the left side of your brain for a second. We're going to talk about everybody else. That's not him. Just push him to the side for now. On the counter, off to the side. When these tariffs kick in, he is going to bleed support like you have never seen. This is
I think he said
so
they want that
horrible.
straight away, don't they?
Yes.
I think they're talking
For
about
what?
these tariffs being in place by the end of January as well. So these are going to
Correct.
come in straight away.
And that is
but
going
Mikey-
to bankrupt hold on, dude. That's going to bankrupt so many people, and it's going to hurt the pockets of so many people. And there's no Democrats anywhere to blame, dude. So the bad thing is when you win, this is the shit about being an incumbent. When you have the House and the Senate and the presidency and the Supreme Court, and my life is not better and my gas is not 50 cents, you're fucked, dude. You're cooked. So the people are not.
He can't run for re-election, Mikey. He doesn't give a fuck. He's still going to have the job for 4 years. He's going to make as much money as he can. He's going to basically...
We're not talking about him. I told you to put him in. I told you to put him in a box and put it to the left. We're talking about the American people, who are the only people that actually fucking matter here. And you object to us, and you objectify us, and you put us to the side. I want you to put Trump to the side. I want you to put Trump to the side. I want you to think about us.
I think that the American people will put up with absolutely horrific
We don't
shit
have
and
anything
not do anything
we
about
don't
it.
have anything left.
Exactly.
Is what I'm trying
They
to.
shake their fists.
We don't have anything left, which is what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, yeah, we're the most profitable country. Oh, and Ali, let me get back to your other point about the economy. When Biden bragged and Harris bragged about how quickly we recovered, like the best out of all the G7 countries and all that stuff, they didn't mention wages. They didn't mention the fact that everybody's working 2 and 3 jobs. Everybody works a full time and then does Uber Eats, or works a full time and then does a restaurant, or does something else, or does laundry, or just everyone is hustling. And then to be told, you don't need help, you're doing just fine. It's like, no, I had to do this because this is the only way. So when you say, oh, look, my jobs numbers are through the roof, because people have multiple fucking jobs, dude. That's not something to fucking brag about. What you should have been saying is, thank you. We got through it. Thank you. Here's something for you. Let's get something for you. You got us through this. Not me and my fucking G7 making the billionaires' companies not collapse. Not that. You fucking did it, guys. We fucking weathered it. You fucking did it. Let's go. Let's get some shit for these people. Let's go after the people who took advantage of you while you kept us safe through COVID, while you fed us through COVID, while you got us through this recession. Let me thank you for that. But instead, they said, you ungrateful little fucking creatures. How dare you fucking talk about this economy? You should be fucking on your knees thanking Joe Biden for this economy. And everyone was like, I haven't seen my wife in fucking 2 weeks because we work opposite schedules, working 2 jobs. That's not the message. You got to be a
agree with
person.
you harder on this one. However, I
There it is.
I don't think anything's going to happen. Like, I think that he will put the prices up of everything. Everyone's life is going to get shitter. You're going to have what's happened in Argentina, where Javier Milei has taken over and he's made the life of nearly everyone shit, except for the super rich already.
Is this his move?
He's
Is this his
made
move?
Poverty levels top 50%. But what do poor people do, Mikey? What do poor people in Alabama do? Do they vote to Democrat? Do they fuck? Doesn't matter that they live in a swamp. They've only got one tooth between an entire family. They will vote Republican and MAGA till the day they die.
Just a racist. That's all that is.
Let me
Alabamans with one tooth. My mother is in Alabama, you piece of garbage.
They're going to take over the Department of Education. They're going to take over the Department of Justice, and they're going to take over. They're going to make everyone stupid and poor because they know
they're already stupid, Graham. They're already poor.
Yeah, okay. The number one demographic to vote Republican are stupid poor people who live in swamps. I mean, I'm living in a swamp at the moment. I can't really talk because my island is currently underwater, but that's because we've just had a huge rainstorm.
And also, you have to remember, people who are stupid and who are poor can still count. And they know when they ain't got no money. Yeah, he cannot provide on the promise he promised. And that he's going to have to eat.
So?
I think you'll get a civil war in the Republican Party. I think you're right. Trump cannot hide. I've made a video about this almost immediately after the election. Like, we've seen this, what happened over here when the Conservatives won such a massive majority. They had nowhere to hide. They couldn't blame anyone else. They were the ones in charge. They were in the driving seat. You can't blame Labour. You're in charge. And what did we see take place in the Conservative Party? Absolute pure chaos. I think that's going to happen in the Republican Party. And I think very recently, I think you saw about Trump wanted to get the recess appointments for some of these positions. And I think it was Mitch McConnell came out and said, actually, no.
Yeah, we're not coming. We're not going on recess. Fuck you. No, so we're staying at work.
I think that was them pushing back, trying to keep control, because I think they also 86'd his, is it the Senate or the House appointment he wanted? I can't remember which one it was. But I think
he wanted Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, and they backheeled that.
He's dropped out.
Yeah,
he's gonna run it.
He's taken back his bid.
He jumped before he was pushed.
Well, not just from the House, but I don't know if you saw that, but he's not running. He doesn't want to be the AG anymore. He said, "Never mind."
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
That was like last night or something.
Bondi.
But
I think you're right to an extent. There will be chaos, but what does it matter? I don't think they're going to have midterms.
Now,
I don't think they're going to happen.
Chaos,
I don't think they're going to have an election in 4 years' time.
They can't fulfill any of their legislative agenda. We've seen this in the UK. They can't. They won't be able to do anything, and then Trump will do his stuff. I think he'll always have a little cult in the background. I think that will peter to some extent. I think, but it will still be there. There'll still be this sort of bizarre loyal following. But I think you're going to get an actual proper civil war in the Republican Party. This guy is a lunatic, and we need to sort of start corralling him to sort of get him back in order. Because where you can see the albino accusations come out.
And hold on, Ali, you're 100% right. And to piggyback on that, what is the Republican Party going to do after 4 years? Because unless they're all on board with him being president for life, then we have to fuck it. Because I said it before this election, and I still might be true. They wouldn't give him any more money because he was using it all for his fucking court cases and to pay off the restitution and all that shit. So they didn't give him any more money, and I think they said, all right, we're gonna back you, but this is your last one. Go ahead, do whatever you're gonna do. If they have to. Aside from your apocalyptic scenario, they have to survive after this 4 years. They can't do that. How are they going to get Nikki Haley anywhere near a lectern when Trump has detonated the economy? They are never going to win anything ever again.
They don't have to win another election. What does it matter how unpopular they are? What's going to happen?
Those people in the Senate have to win their elections, or else he loses his majority.
No. Mikey, they're not going to have another election. When are they going to have an election?
Okay. How much would you like to put that there's not going to be another? How much would you like to put 100 pounds that there will be no midterms?
I'll put a tenner on it. I can't
No! You want to wish doom and gloom on my fucking society? You put your fucking money where your mouth is.
Something's going to happen in the next couple of years. There's going to be some kind of natural disaster or man-made disaster, act of terrorism, earthquake, volcano explodes, something in America. And as a result, Trump is going to say, oh, sorry, there's been an emergency and I have to stay president now forever and we're not having any more elections. And half the population will go, yes, please.
It's
good to us, that fascism.
It's dollar sign Mr. Famine for the tenor when you lose that. We're definitely having midterms. Because here's the thing. If people don't have cheap gas by like March, everybody who had a fucking MAGA anything on their shit is losing their election. Every one of them, because they promised the fucking moon. And if you promise the moon, you better fucking deliver. Especially with us. Americans. Hold on.
I feel like a time traveler here from the future. Mikey, the same thing happened in the UK. We had Brexit. We took a £1 trillion hit to our assets. We took a £100 billion hit to our economy. 4 to 5% every year on year for the rest of our lives. And the price of everything has doubled. The price of a pint of lager has literally doubled in the last 5 years as a direct result of Brexit. People still support the Tory party.
Graham,
and not calling for the heads.
Graham,
who did this to us.
Graham,
they're still buying Boris Johnson's autobiography.
We're already there, Graham, and that's the part that you're not listening to.
We've been there before. We're ahead of you. We're a few years ahead of you in this. I guarantee that if gas prices double in March, which they will if he brings in his tariffs that he wants to bring in, I guarantee that nothing will happen to him. No adverse, no one's going to say, hey, you got to step aside as president now. He's going to stay as president for the next 4 years, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 17. And no one's going to stop him because he's got the Supreme Court in his pocket.
You got another tenor on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't take that bet, Graham. I wouldn't take that bet. I really do think at the end of the day, we knew that the Republicans were getting fed up of Trump before this. They were getting ready to ditch Trump if he lost this election. I don't think they're going to let him go hog wild. I think they'll want him to do some of the stuff they've always wanted to do because they let him do that last time. I think they'll go through with like the national abortion ban. I think they'll definitely go after Obamacare.
Which Republicans actually.
Yeah,
just don't call it Obamacare.
The Department of Education.
I saw someone being interviewed about that, Ollie, where they said he's got to get rid of Obamacare. And they're like, the Affordable Care Act. He's like, no, it's a different thing.
No, I like the Affordable Care Act, but Obamacare.
Oh my god!
But this is what I'm saying, Graham. So when these people voted for Trump because he said he's going to bring down gas prices, drill, all this shit, they don't know that it's bullshit. When they realize it's bullshit, there isn't this big throng of people running around America who are on his side. When these financial pains kick in, he is not going to have this army, and there is no one else to blame. He can't blame Biden for things getting more expensive after he came in and changed everything. It's him.
He's never going to have to run.
He'll try and do it, but he'll probably end up kicking people out of his administration, saying blame it on them. But he's got nowhere to hide. Neither of the Republicans either on this.
But you're acting like he has
their bed with Trump now.
But you're wanting there to be this groundswell of MAGA supporters that are just going to roam the country doing his bidding. Not when they're fucking can't afford gas because they're fucking broke. Like they have to be able to afford rent to be a fucking vigilante for Trump. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to care about. Like they only care about him because he said he would make their life better. When it doesn't get better,
they love him, Mikey.
No, they don't, Graham.
I want to introduce something called religion. Do you know that there's these religions around the world, right? There's many of them. And
why do you think America's here?
Involve suffering in some way to prove your love of God or the gods that are worshipped. Suffering to prove your love is something that cult members and people who are religious do every day all over the world. And they will say, yes, I've had to crawl on my belly through broken glass to worship at the feet of the orange fucking rapist. But they'll do it because they love him, Mikey. And that's something that I think that Democrats just can't get through their heads. They can't imagine that someone would be so just illogical. But these people are illogical.
I am not disagreeing with you.
Desire. They are motivated by their emotions. They are not motivated by the fucking price of gas or anything like that. They love Trump. They love him more than their firstborn. We see this all the time.
But is there enough of them?
Is there enough of them?
We'll have to make very thin slices.
17 million of them. I last looked at the election results. Sorry, you might be getting the noise of my. I've got a couple of super chats that I missed. Sorry. One from one angry pagan saying liberal centre-right politics was also rejected by the US voter base. So little spine over Gaza didn't help either. Well, one angry pagan, I think we're going to find very soon that Gaza isn't going to exist, thanks to Trump and the fact that he doesn't give a crap what Netanyahu does in Palestine. He's appointed someone in his cabinet who doesn't think that Palestine exists. So good luck with that.
I don't want to dip my toe too far into the water, but I would warn Netanyahu that your safety might be tied to the existence of Gaza, so you might want to be careful. Because people a lot of people around the world are pretty sick of the bullshit. ICC, good on you.
Yeah, the ICC said he's a criminal, but you know, a lot of people in America said Trump was a criminal, and he's got away with it. Puninator, £5 super chat.
Thanks,
Am I the only one who thinks that Trump won't make it to the next election? I mean, he's no spring chicken and does love a McDonald's. Yeah, but he's 78 years old, and Mugabe, who was also not a spring chicken and also liked the McDonald's, he lived till the age of like 93 or 94, being a tyrannical dictator of Zimbabwe. So, I don't know. He's got the best medical people around him, I guess. Tim, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Looks like Biden is salting the earth by starting a trade war with China.
Accurate.
That's one of the things that I would do. And one angry pagan, finally, I'll safely bet the US will not be prepared for the level of internal immigration brought about by sea level rise stroke climate change effects. So there you go. Mikey, what do you think? You think you'll be prepared for your internal displacements due to climate change?
I just want to remind all of you lovely people from the UK, I live in an actual country. It actually has space. It actually has land. It's quite enormous. Like, you really should take a globe to really take in
you
all
50 all the immigrants in, mate. They need
all
to be
50 states. If you put everybody in the population density of like a Japan or something like that, all 8 billion of us would fit in Texas. That's one of our 50 states. So
you've only really got, if you live near the sea, or maybe like, I don't know, on the Mississippi, maybe you've got something to worry about if you're near one of those big waterways. But if you're in, I don't know, in the middle of Iowa, I think you'll be fine.
There's a lot of us inland. There's a lot of us inland, and a lot of people are on, but a lot of people do live out there on the coast and stuff like that. And like some of these mansions that are like seafront and all that. I mean, that stuff I'm not so worried about. Like, maybe you shouldn't be fucking flying around on a private jet 24/7, and then maybe your fucking mansion won't get fucking flooded. But for all the people like on like little ginger islands and such things, they don't really have a recourse. You know what I mean? Like the global South has already made it very clear that the rest of us are drowning them, and they don't appreciate it. And then at, what was it, Copa 29, everyone just said, well, fuck you, drown then, I don't care, learn how to swim, I don't care. Like that was the consensus, is like, I guess you guys are just gonna suffer. But again, like, there are things I believe that negatively affect people's behavior in a way that makes them do the things that everybody else got to anyway. Like, we all like to live in our very, very first world countries with hundreds of years of history, of hundreds of years of this and that, several different like industrial revolutions and tech explosions and all this. Other countries didn't get a chance to have that yet. So they're going through their like diesel generator phase, and like Pakistan has like some of the worst smog they've ever seen. So you tell me, Graham, I'll ask you this. Do you think with all the smog in Pakistan that they're not going to change their regulations and maybe start adding catalytic converters to their cars if it stays like that for like the next 5 years?
Yes. I mean, there will be push. You see this in India as well, where you got smog. You see this in China, where they have horrific smog in Beijing, and they've actually tried to do something about it. the EV market in China is
intense,
red hot at the moment. It's probably too hot. It's overcooking. But I don't know, the way that the world is going, talking about COP29, which obviously has just gone to shit.
Yeah.
Trump is going to pull out of the America from the Paris Climate Accords. But people who live on the coast, generally in America, if you live in New England or you live in California or Washington or Oregon, you've probably got a bit of money if you're living on the water, unless you're the Goonies. And that means that you probably can just go somewhere else. That's fine. I think that when you mentioned the Mississippi, I think they're the people who are going to be kind of fucked because, they don't have much. And they're not going to be really welcome. In California, you're going to have the grapes of wrath all over again.
Well,
Tom Joad and his family going to be turning up.
They wouldn't move to California. That's also flooding. And it's also $1 billion. All right, guys. Everybody move to Hawaii. We're going to get away from the rising water. Yeah. But like people like that, they'll move to the Midwest and stuff like that. They'll get used to the tornadoes. They're not that bad. But in the Delta,
Chuck James has just pointed out that the Goonies do have a bit of money because they got One-Eyed Willie's treasure, haven't they?
Got him.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here. This is stuff that I honestly believe. I think that Trump is going to ruin the American economy, destroy the American dream. I think he's going to destroy America. I really do think that this is the end game of America as we know it. And you talk about the 50 states of America. I don't think there's going to be 50 states in America in a few years' time because I can't see California going, yes, Trump, yes, Mr. Trump, we should make it illegal to have abortions for our 40 million inhabitants. They're going to say, no, we don't want to live under these rules anymore. These draconian Saudi Arabian style rules that make women a commodity of the state. That their bodies are ruled over by lawmakers in Washington rather than by themselves, which is the whole thing about right to privacy and right to freedom, I guess.
Right to your own bodily autonomy.
I think that Trump represents an existential threat to the United States of America, and I can't see them getting rid of him because the Supreme Court is in his pocket, and the Supreme Court interprets the laws. So it doesn't matter what the law says; it's their interpretation of it that matters at the end of the day. And they can interpret a law to mean fucking anything, as we've seen.
Yeah, but again. California, you need to ban all abortions right now. No. Okay, we're cutting your federal funding. Okay, we're not going to pay our taxes. California has the 5th largest economy on Earth itself.
Yes. Yeah.
Keep fucking with us.
He's already said he's going to be they're going to be like the resistance state against Trump.
Yeah. A lot of states have been Trump-proofing their states. And they are ready to not listen to what the fuck he has to say. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
So fuck off. Yeah. We're not doing it. We're not fucking treating our women like that in Illinois. We're not doing it. So kiss our ass.
When California
come make us.
Stops paying federal taxes, that's when the biggest military in the world gets mobilized against California for effectively seceding from the Union.
And which is a big no. And how are you going to get the money then?
What you mean?
How you going? Well, there you go. You're not going to get the money.
Well, no. I mean, if you fight a war, you'll win it, won't you?
Okay, and then we'll just go to work for you?
Yeah.
No, we won't. You can go to work for us.
Yeah, it would end very, very badly.
Okay, you conquered us. Go. You take the factory. Go to the dock. Go unload the ship now. You won. Go ahead.
Because people want wages. People want money.
We're all going to prison, Graham. Let's all go to prison. We're all political prisoners. We're all going to prison. No, because what happens when the
California government.
So what happens when you put California in prison, or you put 1 million people in prison? Let's say you put 1 million people who. So
what's he saying? Oh, we can't beat the Nazis, so let's put 1 million Germans in prison. That's not the way war works. just turn up and kill the people that you need to kill and take over the government.
So
and then
you're talking about war, and I'm talking about resistance. How are you gonna make these people comply? Threat of death? Well, then we won't do it. Let's die or fight.
I mean, there's all the Ukrainians behind the lines in occupied territory that are like either actively, passively resisting, or they just murdered, I think, a Russian commander in Sevastopol recently, and blew up his car. So yeah, they would. If that is anything to judge by, I think Californians would do exactly the same.
The thing is, like, you're gonna have to manually, like, I don't know how he's going to manually make anyone do any of this. And you're saying war and military. Okay, that doesn't mean that the fucking docks run and you get your tax money. He's going to starve to death. There's not going to be anything. So either you're going to be a regular person, or we're going to sit on our hands, and then you crazy MAGA people can run the entire country by yourself. And you can't. You need us.
What's going to happen? Tim, thank you very much for the super chat. Has no water though, Mikey. I don't know if he's referring to that. It was a bit earlier on in the conversation. One Angry Pagans asks, thank you, One Angry Pagan. How much more likely is a US civil war now? I don't think there's going to be a civil war. I don't think it'll come to that, to be honest with you. I think that states will just do what they're told, because they're all pussies. Americans are pussies. They never had to fight a war, because they were invaded properly. I mean, I know Pearl Harbor was bombed and everything, but it's not really the same.
Excuse me, War of 1812. We burned down the White House.
Who hasn't burned down the White House? Okay, grow up. All right, everybody's burned it down. Whatever. French, Portuguese, Canadians, British, whatever.
Yeah.
Old hat that White House.
It's funny that Trump Musk translates as fart smells. Is this all some kind of sick joke? Well, back 20 years ago, we had Bush, which is another word for, Bush. We had Dick Cheney, and we had a guy called Colin Powell, but he liked to be referred to as colon. So we had a Bush, a Dick, and an arsehole. But that's what we had, and that was it was real life. It was not fantasy, unfortunately. Anyway, Mike, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a civil war?
No, because it's not because we're pussies. And if you want to you go to the south side of Chicago and say that shit with your fucking ginger hair, and you see what happens to you. Fucking pussies! I got your pussy right over here, big boy.
Yeah.
But just again, back to it's all like I forget who said it first, but it's the economy, stupid. Motherfuckers, when they get broke, are not about to fucking run around and fucking do all this extra shit for anybody. They're going to try to feed their family. They're going to try to survive. They're going to figure out how their rent's going to go. And it's going to go like you have to have a home base to be, fighting as this, like, whatever. These people are not enlisting in the army. The army has been losing ranks for the last 15 years. They can't keep people in there. This permanent war in the Middle East people are not interested in that shit anymore. All of our friends have come back from Iraq and Afghanistan. They're different. And we would all like to not be that sort of different. It's not like they're broken or bad people, but it changes you. And we have, I don't know, 40,000 young men and women over here that let us know that that's not exactly what we're in for, which is why Gaza was such a big issue in this election, and it was completely ignored. We're just going to we're not changing anything.
It wasn't ignored, Mikey. It wasn't ignored because loads of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris because of her stance.
Right, because she ignored the people.
On Gaza, which is hilarious because it allowed, well, not hilarious, tragic, because it allowed Trump to win, who's going to basically destroy the place. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my light here. So
this is the anti-war president. But what do you think is going to happen when Iran sends a billion more missiles and the Hezbollah and the Houthis? So when the Houthis completely shut down that trading route and everything gets all like it's gonna be a war, and it's gonna be because of him. And again, there are no Democrats in the way for him to blame. This is his. People don't want this. So he's not going to have this big...
Nowhere to hide.
He's not going to have this big...
He'll say this is because Sleepy Joe didn't do what needed to be done 2 years ago, and that's why this happened. He'll say the same thing about Ukraine as well. Of course he'll blame them. You can say that he can't blame them, but they will. And they'll get away with it because the voters don't care. I think we on the left, we tend to think that everyone thinks like us, and they just don't. Like, people just don't give a shit. They just want to watch people die and, suffer. As long as it's not them. In fact, no, like I said earlier, sometimes even if it is them, they're like, yay, I'm dying, I'm suffering. But it's for a good cause.
That's only...
It makes me feel alive. I've never felt so alive.
Only Bondi does that kind of stuff. Like, I heard that she was in D.C. on January 6th and wanted to go down there so she can get punched by one of the people. So she could, post about it. She's a real winner, that one.
Yeah. Is she going to be the AG?
As well,
like the one who's going to be the AG?
Running on the clock. Still almost 24 hours and still no response from Vladimir Putin. So I think we're not going to get World War III.
Sorry, what's happened after 24 hours?
He's done nothing.
About what?
He's done nothing.
About the long-range missile?
Yeah, he's done nothing. Well, he basically decided I'm going to launch not an ICBM but an MLR, which is a sort of a smaller version of it, and it wasn't even carrying a payload. This is to do this in place of a cruise missile is like essentially saying I'm going to use the Challenger 1 space rocket to nip down to the local shops. It'll cost you a heck of a lot of money just to go nip round the corner and pick up a pint of milk. Yeah. But hey, it'll be fun.
I think it was a show of force, a little touch on the nose.
It was a show of force. No one's impressed about it. The Ukrainians, believe it or not, have launched more ATACMS and Storm Shadows. Guess what? No response. Putin's got nothing. His economy is absolutely in the toilet because I don't know if you've seen the ruble today. 1 ruble is now $1 is now worth 100 rubles.
What was it before?
Yeah, and it's still going. It was 49.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to lose a single vote. Not that he needs votes anymore since he changed the constitution to allow him to be
he auto gets 95%
ground. Never happened in America.
Yeah, that's automatic.
I don't think that it matters. I'm sorry, Ollie. I don't think that this stuff matters to the people of Russia. They love suffering. I mean, it's the thing they do. It's like they're Russian, and it's like, in the UK, it's a cup of tea.
Potatoes have gone up 75%. Butter's gone up 30%.
But
they love it. They love suffering. They say they're masochists. We've got one point coming from a super chat that came in from Hunanator for £10. Sorry, Mikey, but Americans are kind of pussies. They have to cower behind coward weapons, their guns, to make their point rather than with classics like fists, swords, or bows, which require skill. All right, Pudinator, if you like, mate. I'm like, fucking yeah, I'm a swords master. I can wield a lightsaber like no one's business. And Jupp is claiming that Trump doesn't have Democrats to blame is a bit like, saying that Brexiteers don't have the EU to blame anymore. And he's absolutely right, mate. Because, like I say, I feel like the UK is just a few years ahead of the US in this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he hasn't got the Democrats to blame. Technically, he'll still do it because all that matters is emotions. How you feel. Tell me how you feel, Mikey.
I get Brexit is the canary in the coal mine, but you got to think scale, brother. Like, I get that you guys think that you're equal to us, but you have to remember how.
11 times 1,000.
But you have to remember
911,000.
But you have to remember how small you are. You're small.
Yes.
So it's a canary in the mine. We're a big bird. Big birds move different.
Yes.
Big birds got many parts. And if you can't get all the parts moving at the same time, I don't care where that head is going, but the feet ain't going. You got to be intentional when you do shit when there's this many people. If he dude, there's 340 million Americans. Come on, bro. You're gonna dominate all of us? Come on, bro.
Yes.
All right.
All I'm going to say is, Mikey, we're going to get the Empire back together. That's
That's
it.
what they think they're fucking gonna Vader us. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
1 point.
You fucking pussy.
1.4
You fucking
billion.
pussies
on,
with your guns. Fucking pussy with your gun. Yeah, come get them. Fucking pussies.
There's 1.4 billion Indians, and they let Modi do what the fuck he likes, because he's the leader. He gets away with it. I mean, the size doesn't matter. The size of Russia's a much bigger country than the UK. I mean, they all do what Putin tells them to do.
They're close to losing 1 million men.
Yeah.
They are closing on the 800,000 mark.
Matter. He could lose 50 million and people will still love him. And he's like Trump. He's like Hitler or Mussolini or Julius fucking Caesar or Napoleon or any of these mad, psychopathic, murderous cunts who get into power and they just destroy everything.
How did Caesar meet his end?
And people love him for it. They're like, oh, I wish I could be like you and destroy you.
Yeah, the economy is going down the toilet. His army is literally
or
white.
serial killers in jail.
I don't think Trump. I don't think he can go on too much longer. And yes, unfortunately, we now live in this world where Trump said he can end the war in 24 hours, but we still don't know what that looks like. But you've got Tulsi Gabbard now as head of intelligence.
The spy.
Really worrying.
They put the spy in charge of.
Yeah. Oh, that is the most worrying one to me, Mikey.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what about you? But she getting that. Oh.
Because I thought Matt Gaetz was the most outrageous, but she's the worst pick.
Mm.
Oh, no, RFK. RFK is the worst.
Oh
pick.
yeah, RFK. Yeah. Well, if you want to do like who's going to do the most damage, because RFK is probably the worst, because he'll take fluoride out of the water, which could potentially cause a polio outbreak, and then he is the most opposed to vaccines. So how on earth is America going to deal with an outbreak of polio without using vaccines?
We have children in this country that need vaccines. Because I actually have to call
the anti-vax tax, which is the deaths of thousands of children who would otherwise not have to die, because anti-vaxxers are the most arrogant fucking dickheads you'll ever meet, because they think they know better than every qualified medical person in the bloody world who's ever existed. Do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
He doesn't have germs. Let me look at him. No, I don't see any germs. Fucking anti-vaxxers.
They exist.
Anti-vaxxer microscope is just them squinting at their fucking Facebook post.
What do you reckon to the new Secretary of Education then, Mikey?
Oh, yeah. Who's that? Which guy? Oh, the guy from Oklahoma buying the Trump Bibles?
Stephanie McMahon. No, not Stephanie.
No, it's the guy with the fucking, what's it called, right? The Trump Bible guy? Who did they pick?
I thought it would have...
Isn't she the UFC fighter?
Oh, Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's wife, who no longer works for the WWE, but he still controls it. Because he got in trouble for being a little nasty boy.
Yes.
I already planned on homeschooling. This solidifies it. Solidifies it.
I could just see it in the books in school. Once upon a time, there was Francis the Fox who met Simon the Squirrel, and as they hugged to embrace, to make new friends, Francis the Fox clotheslined him, then did a DDT on him, and he was beating him with a fallen submission to claim the WWE title.
And Billy Badger's on the top rope. Oh my god! Oh my god! That Badger's got a family.
Yes.
I mean, I like people like this is unfortunately, Graham. This is the way that it's gonna get fixed. The American people aren't pussies, and I'm looking right in the camera when I say that.
I can't see you, mate. I don't know what you're looking at.
Here, I'll do this for you. Maybe it'll fix it. Here. Come back.
Still can't see you.
Haha.
Yes. Oh my god, I can see your
anyway,
face.
quickly, I've got to go, so we're going to quickly jump.
So far.
Ali, I'd like to talk with you more. It was fun to meet you.
Excellent, yeah. Like I say, I'm always up for more having more conversations. So yeah, get in contact, and we'll set something up. So yeah,
for sure.
Other than that, like I say, good evening, everyone. Hope you all enjoy, and yes, I'll see you all very soon again.
Bye.
Cheers, Ollie.
All right, he's gone. Let's talk about
That's Ollie Bowler Hat Man. If you'd like to follow his shit, I recommend it.
I'm going to do it.
Go on, Mikey, what were you saying?
I forgot. What were we talking about?
You were telling me shit about the American people not standing for this shit.
Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah, the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But it's all this little trickle down bullshit where it all, you know, shit rolls downhill. When all that shit starts stacking up on people, on top of still being broke from before, on top of not getting the money that they were promised, on top of not getting other, it's a bad proposition, bro, because these people don't like being lied to. So when the lies kick in, when the pain starts, there's gonna be some pain. They're gonna have to take some pain. Let me finish. They're going to take some pain, and then they're going to try to blame everybody else, and everyone's going to say, we tried to warn you, and then they're going to say, and they've already been saying, well, what do we do to fix this? And when they get to that point, that's when we can start getting there. We can't get there until they realize that their idea was bad, and that's going to take, unfortunately, some pain.
Mate. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Because we have lived through this in the UK, and exactly the same thing happened. We elected some fucking idiots who basically trashed our economy, and nothing happened. Nothing fucking happened. People didn't rise.
So who's the pussy again?
Riots in the streets.
Who's the pussy
People
again?
I'm so angry about my gas prices.
You let Liz Truss fuck up your whole fucking entire country, but we're the pussies. Whatever.
It didn't happen. I guarantee it will not happen in the US either. It just won't.
As long as you guys don't sit. As long as you don't.
To jail.
As long
as a protest or getting shot by Trump's goons who are above the law because of immunity.
Graham. Yeah. I don't know how many times I have to freaking tell you this. If someone shoots someone, you also might get shot for shooting someone. So when you shoot someone, it's dangerous for you to be that kind of criminal. I don't know why.
If you're a line of cops with bulletproof shields and you're shooting from behind them.
So you're just going to move the... Okay. Well, okay. If you're just going to move the goalpost every time, well, I have a shield in front of me, and also... Like, what are you talking about here?
You're going to turn up to a riot with a shield.
What riot are you talking about? What riot?
Riots in Washington of people who are upset about the gas prices.
Why the fuck would we riot?
Theoretical...
That's not how this works. That's not how I... Okay, so you're explaining situations that I'm not positing. I'm not saying that people are going to see, oh, the gas is too high, and now I'm going to march on Washington. No, it'll be just like, this group online, this group online, this group online, and then when things get to a level, the whole area is shut down. Or if it's in state by states, they will shut down an entire area. Or this entire section of things gets no money until we get things figured out. Like, no one buy from this. This is when the boycotts and all. Like, the thing that bothers me, Graham, and the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because if I took your mode of thinking, then there would never have been a civil rights movement in this country. Ooh. Monitor. Like, there is no way forward in this country. We'd still have slavery because the Republicans were in charge. They had all the votes. But we don't have it now, right? Because there was a war over it.
Yes.
Well, kind of.
Because there were progressive people in charge. There was someone in Abraham Lincoln who was like, I am progressive and I don't want this. And then you were waiting for the white guys to help. You know, it wasn't anything that people rioting on the streets of Washington in the 1860s managed to affect. It was the leaders in Washington, the white leaders in Washington. And in the 1960s, it's the same. I don't think that if the Republicans had been in the 1960s, which they weren't, the Democrats were in, and it was a good time for the Democrats to start changing the way that they did things and ditching the Southern Democrat dickhead fucking racists who, were pulling the party back, pulling the party down. And they said, we are going to, differentiate ourselves from the Republicans, and this was a political decision, by supporting the civil rights movement and by supporting the civil rights amendment. And they were like, yeah, okay, let's do this. But it was the white people who chose that, right? Who were progressives at the time, progressives. I know they're not particularly progressive compared to like where we are today, but you've got Kennedy and you had Johnson, and they were progressive leaders compared with Trump. Trump is an out fucking fascist,
you've
mate.
done it again.
You've never had a fascist like this. You've never given him so much power. You've never given him the fucking House of Representatives, the fucking Senate, and the fucking the Supreme Court. 6 members of the Supreme Court are MAGA Republicans. You're fucked, mate. I feel like you kind of grasping for the copium and going, it won't be too bad because obviously we'll rise up and tell them all to fuck off. But I think it's going to happen. I don't even get a chance to vote that these fuckers out. I think this is it.
I'm going to take. We don't have to debate anything else. I just want you to get your fucking bank account ready because I'm going to take everything out of your bank account. I'm going to make you put a fucking dollar behind everything you're fucking saying because it's very easy to call people pussies across the ocean. It's very easy to say that things won't happen, but you're not here. So it's cool. I get it. And I get it that everyone says, I like what you're...
One second. Mm-hmm. British people are pussies too, all right? Which we saw during the Brexit thing. But go on, continue.
Either way, it doesn't matter who's a pussy, but for everyone to think and for you to posit that the American people are just going to be like, oh, I don't care if I can't eat. It's all about Trump, baby. You have not met a fucking American. They're the most self-centered, selfish people ever. We are spoiled and privileged and selfish. And if I'm not getting what I want, who the fuck is going, well, as long as Trump gets his? Are you dumb? We don't give a... No, even MAGA is not going to fucking give their last meal so Trump can eat. They'll talk about it, and they'll talk about it and do all that shit. Then how come... Okay, so then if what you're saying is true, if what you're saying is
shit on the plate and give it back to the poor.
If what you're saying is true, then why did he need Elon Musk to finance his campaign?
He didn't. He would have won anyway.
Are you kidding me? No, you're answering separate questions. I need you to follow me like a laser beam here. Okay. Why did Trump need Elon to finance his campaign?
Didn't. I think
you're wrong. Anyway, okay, there we go. You're wrong. He's broke. The campaign was broke, and they needed Elon to fund it. Huh? Trump is not a billionaire, dude.
Trump spent fuck all in 2016. He still won. He didn't do the debate that he was supposed to do on 60 Minutes. He still won. He didn't do all the things he was supposed to do. He still won. He was holding rallies in fucking California when he should have been going for the swing states. He still won every single one of the swing states.
You're missing the point.
Difference about how much money was spent.
But that's...
Kamala Harris outspent him. She outfunded him and she outspent him and she still lost. Because
so
it
how
didn't matter. Because knocking on people's doors asking them to vote for someone is a shit way of getting people to vote for them. What you're best doing is buying Twitter.
Again, so he didn't get a ton of donations from his people because when it came to put your wallet where your mouth is, they were like, I'll just and then Elon had to come in. So while Trump, if Trump is this all-encompassing God King, he is the gasoline price God King, which is honestly the only thing Americans care about. We drive everywhere and we like cheap gas. He got a bunch of broke people. That's why Elon was necessary. When these broke people get broker, they're not loyal, brother. They're not loyal. All of these people that are like sycophants and doing all this shit to just get into his good graces, well, they're going to figure out that the money's drying up too. And now Elon is the only reason, they have to keep dealing with Elon for the next 50 years because he's the fucking, the gravy train. No one even likes that fucking guy.
But Mikey,
you know what I mean? So it's
I feel like you're bringing logic to an emotion fight. You're saying logically these people can't possibly still worship at the altar.
They won't be able to.
Disgusting orange blob of a rapist.
They won't be able to.
Their prices up. No, I disagree. I think that 100% they will go, this is the suffering that I need to suffer to prove my love for this man who wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire because he's Donald Trump, but this is the person that I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with. They mean more to me than my partner. They mean more to me than my children. They mean more to me than my grandchildren. I couldn't give a shit about their future. I couldn't give a shit about the environment. I couldn't give a shit about them being raped, for fuck's sake, and then having to have their rapist baby. Like,
but you're saying
logical point of view, because you're looking at it of how you would look at someone on the left who turned up promising a load of shit and didn't actually do the shit. You'll be like, fuck off, you didn't do the things that you'd say you do. The right aren't like that. The right aren't like you. They don't think like that.
I'm not thinking through my brain. I'm thinking through their pocketbook, their expenses. Because I don't need to know, I don't need to know what's in somebody's mind. Right? I don't need to know what they're thinking or who they're fucking in love with. It doesn't matter if you're in love. You can't go out and support somebody if you can't eat. You can't love somebody if you're hungry. You can't go out and show love if you're hungry.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I mean, it's like falling in love with someone.
You're not. I don't think you're aware of the current situation. I just really don't think that like it really translates kind of what the economic situation over here is. I don't know if it's translating properly, but it is not as good as the numbers show, and that is the problem. Oh, fastest recovery coming from the G7. It doesn't matter. None of that matters.
It's what people feel.
And they are listening to the gas price lie. And when the lie is revealed as a lie, they're going to be angry. And they're not going to just say, well, this is my long-suffering love for Trump. Like, I get it. Like, I get that you want this to fall in line with your Brexit. But you are not being objective. You're not being objective. You continually compare things in America to other countries. You have to use the American slide rule logic when you talk about Americans. Okay, or don't.
People are people.
People are not people. Americans are different than Canadians are different than people in Ireland. They're all different. They respond differently to stimuli. And I'm saying that your perceived reaction, to the stimuli is off base. And I keep trying to explain why I'm trying to get you to where I'm at, and you won't stop saying that Trump's just going to go around shooting everything. I want you to have a real discussion with me about the American people and about what they will or will not do with Trump. But you will not go there with me because you want to say wild things about Trump.
Mikey, I will put £10 now on Trump getting away with murder. Oh, I don't have to. I've already won because he already fucking has. January the 6th. He sent out a mob, a violent, angry mob, to your Parliament building to storm it like some fucking third world banana republic. And not only has he not faced any legal consequences from doing that, he's just been re-elected as the president. I mean, come on. Meet me in the middle here. Like you're saying...
I'm trying to meet you in the middle, but you won't talk about what I'm talking about. You keep talking about what you want to talk about in my topic. Like, I need you to follow me on the American people. Put Trump in that same fucking box and push him to the side again. Think about the American person. And stop going to the fucking deep rural South in the one-tooth shit. Stay in reality. Like the average person, let's say they make, let's say you're 25, you make 50K, right? You're 25, you make 50K, you work at Amazon. When your life it's already been bad. Like our rent has gone up $600 or $500 in the last 4 years for no fucking reason. They haven't done any upgrades to the place at all. That's slow, right? Like it's way worse than other places. And these people were told, hey, we're gonna fix it for you. So what does that person? You're trying to afford your 1-bedroom apartment, and now you can't afford it anymore, and you're mad, and and now Trump's telling you to go do something, and you're like, well. Yeah, they would just go do it. And I'm telling you, if that dude is trying to figure out how to fucking pay his bills, he doesn't care about politics. Like, that's the problem. Americans don't care enough about politics. So when they only get the TikTok video of him promising low shit, and if you have any kind of trans bigotry in you, and he ticks that box for you, and I don't really like it when I'm like at the grocery store and I hear somebody talking to their family and it's in Spanish. Yeah, get rid of those people. Like, that all sounds good, but then the election happens. Oh, yeah, it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. And when none of it happens. So these loyal foot soldiers that you're talking about, like on the street, because you can say whatever the fuck you want in DC. Come out here and do it. Come 2,000, 3,000 miles across the country and make it happen. That's not going to happen. And if, like, the military is filled with American citizens. We're not military all the time. A lot of people are reserve. A lot of people drill every couple of weekends or something like that. A couple of weekends a month. Our military is us. That's one thing since 9/11. Our military is us, and hold on, dude. Our military and us are like this. We take care of our boys as much as we can, and
Commander in Chief got to be Mikey.
Okay. I told you to put him in a box and put it to the side. Because that's your only answer, and it's annoying, dude. It's your only answer to everything. You have to follow the conversation and talk with me. But you're just repeating, rubber stamping the word Trump.
I'm putting out the idea that Trump will do what the fuck he likes for the next X many years, and no one's going to stop him. And you're arguing against that idea, right?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. I've not been convinced by your argument of, like, American people are somehow different to anywhere else in the world. I don't think they are. And that American people won't put up with it. I think American people will put up with it. And this is proven in the history of America, in the history of all the countries, but most of all from the fact that the poorest people in America continuously vote for a Republican all their lives because they don't give a shit that their life is awful because they've got enough money to buy some booze and to have, fuck some prostitutes and all's good. They can access some porn on their phone. And they don't care. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about the, China invading Taiwan or what's happening in Ukraine. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
So you think so when the tariffs come in, you're going to say that it's not going to bother them?
The terrorists?
Tariffs.
Yeah, it's not going to bother them. It won't bother them at all.
Want to put a tenner on it?
This happened in the UK. The price of a pint of fucking lager doubled. It doubled, Mikey, as a result of Brexit. I thought, wow, this is it. It's all going to kick off now. Did it? Fuck. Everyone went, we'll have to drink a little bit less then, I suppose. Head down. Do what I'm told. Hooray. But at least we stuck it to those foreign people who were trying to do things. Foreigners. I wrote an essay called For the Love of Brexit, and it was about how people are addicted to Brexit in the same way that people become addicted to drugs, people become addicted to gambling. It is a misfiring of the bit in your brain that makes you fall in love with stuff. And Mikey, you have not fallen in love with Trump. You think he is disgusting. You think he is repulsive, like most sensible people in the world.
I'm apathetic.
You can't put yourself in the mindset of a Trump voter.
I've talked to them. I live around them. And that's what you don't get. I have the conversations. But you act like I don't live around Americans.
In Panama, there's loads of Americans, and they all are, like, nearly, pretty much, to a man, to a woman, they are Trump voters. And they think the world of him. They love him.
Graham, those aren't normal fucking people. They're fucking people who are floating around in the fucking Panamanian Islands. With you. Those people, by definition, most Americans have never left the fucking country.
Yes.
So what
so they're the ones who are a bit more adventurous then, aren't they?
Those are the.
That's what they're like when they get out of the country. What are the people who have never left their swamp in Alabama like?
There you go with the swamp in Alabama shit again. Again, if you want to just play caricature games, then we can play caricature games. If you want to talk reality, we can talk reality. But I'll play your caricature game. After Mary Poppins and Dick Van Dyke become the president and vice president, and everyone sings supercalifragilistic, like, those people are not real. Like, you're not talking real shit. Like, that's the only thing that pisses me off about this. It's like, it's cool if you think that everything's gonna be doom and gloom and it's gonna fail. That's fair. And that's a fair assessment. I'm not saying that your assessment is completely out of bounds, but it's so unnuanced that it's frustrating because it's like you're not trying all the way. It's like you got an easy answer and you're going to stick with the easy answer. Brexit is different than here. Can you concede that?
It's different, but it's similar.
Similar,
it is a similar
but
trait
different
in people to punch themselves in their own dick because a charismatic con man has told them it will make their life better. And when it doesn't make their life better, they don't turn on the charismatic con man. They don't turn on Nigel Farage. They don't turn on Boris Johnson. They turn on the people who told them it was going to be shit.
The Democrats turned on Biden. People turn on people here. People lose support here.
Yeah, Democrats do.
Mark Robinson was about to be the next fucking governor of North Carolina, and then all of his fucking internet proclivities came out, and he was out of here. He's gone. Did you? So America. So Illinois. Real quick. Illinois. 3 out of our last 5 governors have gone to jail, prison, fed time prison.
Wow.
Because we lock motherfuckers up when they break the law. So Trump doing Trump things is not America, right? So even with him, he tries his shit in little pockets and little areas, and that Supreme Court shit, like that's just a whole nother ball of wax there. But I mean, he's still got to like survive his term. Like his heart is not going great. And I heard that he's got heart disease. So, oops. Oh, shouldn't have been eating all the fucking Big Macs, stupid fuck. But like, it's not going to, like, it's like the lawyers and everybody are already lined up. Like we're not so dumb that we're on all this hopium. We have things in the barrel, dude. Like we're already ready. He has to make the move so that we can make our move. Ain't nobody laying down and falling over for him. And his meager amount of like radicalized people will quickly learn, like the little Nazi dudes that are marching around Columbus, Ohio, and like in Kentucky and stuff like that. They just kind of like find a town square and start waving swastikas and all that shit. And then guess what they do? They all fucking put masks over their face so they hide, and then they get into a U-Haul van in the back of a U-Haul, like the moving van, and then they get driven back to their cars. Well, I mean, it'd be a real shame if somebody followed that U-Haul van and got all your license plates and then doxed all of you, right? Like there are plans in place to deal with each and every one of those motherfuckers. I'm not saying I'm on stream. You'll just have to watch the fireworks, y'all.
Well, I hope you're right. I think back
It ain't over yet.
This time, 8 years ago, I was on the island here in Panama, and Trump had just
Coincidence? I think not.
Died. I made a video saying the people who voted for Trump are going to get screwed over by Trump, which they absolutely did as a result of his completely fucking pants reaction to the COVID pandemic, which resulted in hundreds of thousands of Americans dying unnecessarily. The majority of them being Republican voters. Not enough, it seems, because
Herman Cain.
But I've got a few things in the chat here. So some are agreeing with you, some are agreeing with me. Lee Korn says, I think Mikey is high on copium. We've got Lucas saying MAGA would absolutely do that for Trump, which I agree with. Trump margins are getting smaller as the outstanding votes come in, says Band of Heart Jays, which is true. He's only at like 49.8% of the votes or something. And Frisham Stuck says, I thought Musk only joined the campaign at a later stage, which is kind of true, but yeah,
because they were dry on cash.
In the background. Yeah. Frisham Stuck is also pointing out that Trump is more likely to ask you to piss on him if you're on fire.
That's his thing.
Which is funny and true.
But I want you to eat asparagus first.
Hayden Pod is saying, no, Mikey, humans don't just admit they don't just admit they're being conned. Americans are no different here. And then we've got Graham. This is from Andy. I wish you would stop being so English and stop telling the American how Americans think, because you're English and you think you know better. And then Hayden Pod says, Trump will tell them who to blame and the vast majority will believe him. So, I mean, it looks like it's a bit 50-50 in the chat. Let us know in the chat, because we are reading this. It is different. Trump won't live forever. Thank heavens. Svac says, also, Mikey forgets America exists in the world and ignore what the state of the world would be.
Wait.
Lucas says, yeah, but they don't turn against the con man. Graham is completely right. I'm trying it's 50-50. And Andy is saying, yeah, but Graham's acting like the guy who tells a woman how periods work. He's not listening. He's assuming his position is correct and needs to shout down anything not agreeing with him. So fuck you, Mikey, for saying things that aren't, what I think. I want you to be. I want you to be right. I want this to be the case.
As much as you think you're right, I know I'm right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm exactly the same side, the other side of the coin. But I can't get you to go where I'm at because you won't get all the way on my side of the coin just in a thought experiment so that you can see this side of the coin. Like, I want you to see the other side, the resistant side of this. Because I get, like, Trump is very loud, right? And MAGA is very loud. Yes. MAGA didn't, MAGA didn't show up and win all that shit. This motherfucker promised them cheap gas. That's all they care about. So I get what you're saying about like the him being a rapist, right? Like him being an actual sexual predator and what that means to like little kids who have to like learn the presidents, you know what I mean? And then they're gonna learn about him. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be in a history book. My daughter is gonna have to learn about President fucking Trump. Like it's gross, but these kids don't like that shit. Motherfuckers don't like no one enjoys this shit. They suffer it because they have to make it through. Americans, if anything else, are survivors. And they voted for their perceived best interest so that they could get a handle on their finances because, again, Biden bragged about the economy, which didn't increase wages. These people are still hurting. They voted for him out of reaction. If you guys go to the Bin Podcast Network, I launched a video myself explaining. I have a little pie chart I made for everybody's percentage of blame. It's a big part of it. And when they are hurting and struggling, all that shit, motherfuckers turn off politics. They're not going to be this big, fan wave of red hats. And all that. I probably saw... I work from home now, so I'm not out as much. But I probably only saw, maybe a handful of MAGA hats this time. They did it out of fear and out of necessity and to get that shit. So to think that is going to last...
Did he get the same number of votes roughly as he did in 2020? It's just that the Democrats lost about 10 million.
He got more votes in more red areas. So he brought out more people in more red areas, and then more people went in purplish areas. More people went for him over Harris. And if you look at the exit polling, you go on TikTok, you talk to people, it's the money. They don't want to be broke no more. And he is promising them that they won't be broke no more. When they stay broke, things will change. And you just gotta, everyone's gotta trust me on that. Mikey. Because broke motherfuckers don't.
I hope you're right. And I'm sorry that I'm such a cynic about this.
And I
because
get
there
it.
is a thin line between love and hate, and I hope that the people who are desperately in love with Trump and would offer up their firstborn for him to devour in front of them while they masturbate frantically, I sure hope that those people will turn to hate him because he hasn't done the things that he said.
But that's the thing. They don't have
is that he will do the things that he says he's going to do, and they will fucking love it because they won't care that the price of their gas has doubled because they have seen children of immigrants being put in cages and thrown out of aeroplanes,
and that's the other part.
Sea, and that's what gets them up.
And that's the other part. People say that they want those things, but
yes,
but when the vans show up, it's different. It stops the clap. Yes, the clapping stops. Okay. Again, you got to stay with me in the present, please. When those things show up, and when families are taken, when abuelita is taken out of there, and then they're put into camps, and then
abuelita. I'm white. I don't have an abuelita.
And then the videos of those camps come out, and the reporting on those camps come out, and those camps are exposed for what it don't work that good, man. People don't like it's if it's far away, like a pork chop is like people like to eat a steak. People like to eat a steak, but they're not going to go out there and watch them butcher the cow. If they are forced to watch the butchering of the meat,
you're not asking them to actually work the camps, Michael.
They're gonna have to. Who else is gonna do it?
At these camps. No, some people will get off on it. Some people will love to work in a camp like that. In the same way that some people in Germany in the 1930s and 40s they love the idea of working in a concentration camp.
But you got to remember how many millions of people he's gonna need. He ain't got it.
You don't need millions.
He's gonna need a couple. He's gonna need a couple. He's gonna need a couple hundred. He said 10 million people.
Yeah, which he's going to put on airplanes and throw them into the sea.
How much? Who's paying for that?
To death.
Who's paying for that?
Pardon?
Who's going to pay for that?
Taxpayer.
Oh no!
Like they pay for all the mad shit that America wants to do, all the mad wars and
then so when it turns into, oh, we got money for jet fuel, but I can't get no cheap gas. Oh, we got money for this, but I can't have my shit. Oh, you can ban abortion. You're going back to abortion, but I can't have my shit. But you got to remember. You got to remember the promise, because that's what it is. Hold on. You got to remember what the promise is, and the promise needs to be kept. That's the thing. And I get people saying, like, oh, they never go after the con man. If you tell somebody, like, Obama's biggest blunder was, aside from the drone strikes, was, if you like your doctor, you can keep it. There was T-shirts, bumper stickers, everything. And that was just a small, little thing that could have been fixed later. Everyone completely turned their back because they found out that they couldn't keep the same doctor, that they would be out of network, and then they'd have to move to somebody else. And they were to this day, I still hear right-wingers talking about, well, it's just like they lied before. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. I'm going to drill. And if he don't drill, they will turn on him. These people are selfish and they are petty. It sounds, people just want that cheap gas. And if their life don't get better, it ain't going to be the Democrats who have to rise up and get rid of Trump. If he don't feed his wild masses, which I don't know that he can, he's in deep shit. So it's him, his own party he's going to look out for.
I think you would be right if we were talking about J.D. Vance or George W. Bush or George Bush or even Ronald Reagan to some extent. But you're talking about Donald Trump. And I think they will forgive him anything and everything. And he will do what narcissists always do. Blame someone else, deflect, not my fault, it's someone else's fault, here's the real enemy, they're stopping you from getting all the nice things. Why have gas prices doubled? It's Sleepy Joe Biden's fault, it's AOC's fault, it's Taylor Swift's fault, let's go kill them. That's the rhetoric you're going to see over the next couple of years. He's not going to take responsibility for any of this. He never, ever does.
That Brooklyn girl, she's the reason your gas prices are up. That girl in Brooklyn.
People love him, Mikey. And have you, first of all, first question, have you ever had a friend who has fallen in love with a complete wrong-un, who has treated them like shit, who has cheated on them time and time again, and yet they've always gone back to them because they love them?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So second question, did you ever have to try and have that really awkward conversation with them about, your partner's not very nice, we don't like your partner, your partner doesn't treat you very well? Have you ever had that conversation with someone?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go down? Did it go down well for you? Did they slap you in the face? Did they tell you to fuck off? Or did they say, yeah, I think you got a point there?
What I always say to people who are in bad relationships, and that goes for anybody in the chat too, even if you need somewhere to crash. When you realize that I'm right, call me and my couch is ready. When you see that I'm right, you can join the resistance. And you can help us, and it's not going to take long, because if he doesn't produce that shit quick, because he made it sound like it's going to be all I have to do is sign a pen, baby, and it's cheap gas city. I'm telling you, dude, people are really actually in America, middle class Americans are really really strapped, dude. Like we're really not
That
good. Like the
wasn't our
whole
experience
the
in
whole
UK.
the whole thing about like, can you afford like a $500 emergency? Before the pandemic, it was at like 30% of people in America had $500 in case of like a emergency, something like you blow 2 tires at the same time or something,
Yeah.
like, and you got to get a tow truck and new tires. Like they just don't have it. They just don't have it.
Yeah.
So if you promise, I'm going to get you out of this and we're going to have the best fucking economy and, Mr. President, what are you guys going to do about childcare? Drill, baby, drill. Like, okay. I hope this works because the only people that have gone after Trump physically are Republicans. Think of the one-tooth Alabamans swarming the Capitol because he won't give them their gas. That's what you got to think about. It's not us. We have legal ways of blocking and slowing and the actual term retarding, slowing down what he's trying to do. He ain't gonna be. We're gonna jam it up, and then we're gonna force you to do it with the military. Okay, put a gun to my head. And his head, and his head, and his head, and his head. You're going to have to do that every day for all of our shifts, because if you don't do it, we're not going to help. That's what this turns into. He's not the only one that...
What are you not going to do? Are you going to
anything he says.
Are you going to stop working?
Absolutely. Absolutely there's going to be strikes. There's going to be strikes. There's going to be boycotts. There's going to be walkouts. There's going to be die-outs. There's going to be all kinds of fun shit. This is the...
How are you going to support yourselves?
We do what we always do, baby. We survive. We make it.
Explaining.
We make it because not everybody on the left is broke, right? And people help.
Yeah.
People make communities, and that's kind of what this time period is right now. This is the time period before he gets in there. Communities need to band together. And you need to find the vulnerable people in your community, and you need to safeguard them. If you need to set up transportation or get them to stay with somebody else, now is the time to do it. And for everybody who's watching right now, and you're in the States, if you don't have your passport, your ID, birth certificate, marriage certificate, like all of your like government paperwork, go ahead and get that appointment out of the way. Go ahead and go sit in that hour line or whatever it is. Get all that shit now. Right? Because we don't know what the administrative strait's going to look like after this. So, First of all, inoculate yourself. Put your own mask on first. Your own oxygen mask on first. Make sure that you have all your documentation in case you have to pack up and go, or any leases or titles or deeds. Make sure you have all of that shit in a row. And then when the next step comes, people will let you know what the next step is and how you can help and what we're going to do and how we're going to survive this. Because there is no way in hell that this is just gonna, the Supreme Court might want to stroke his little tiny micro penis and make him feel like a big boy. The rest of us are not interested. Cheap gas or get out is pretty much what is gonna happen. And if he can't produce that, which is impossible, he's gonna have more than just the angry blue-haired they them liberals to deal with. He's gonna have a bunch of yokels. I mean, look at the farmers. The farmers are not in support of him. So what are you gonna do when the farmers quit? You're gonna just figure it out? He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know. Oh, the healthcare. I have concepts of a healthcare plan. This dude's a fucking idiot.
Concepts of plan.
So when he tries to do his concepts, everyone's gonna laugh at him.
And yes, Britain and America are different countries, and maybe the national psyche is different, right? But there are two big things that are similar in the way that we treat our politicians, or we treat our politicos, which is this: the right seem to get away with murder, whereas the left need to be perfect, beyond reproach. Any misstep or even just one word misspoken will be talked about for months. Whereas if it's someone on the right, they can literally say, "I want to murder you all," and everyone goes, "Oh, he's just joking."
It's just a joke. Yeah.
But where the UK is a bit different is that when we grow tired of a politician, which did happen with Boris Johnson, we could get rid of the fucker. The problem in America is that you have a system in which you're elected president, and that's it for 4 years, at least. And in the UK, we had Liz Truss. She lasted 44 days, right? Because she was fucking useless. She tanked the economy. She was shit. Everyone hated her. Out you go. You don't have that in the States. So even if in March, if the gas prices go through the roof, I can't see any way of this actually stopping Trump from doing the mad shit that he wants to do. Because at the end of the day, he could put things in place to, put the gas prices back where it was by, getting rid of the stupid tariffs that he's planning to bring in. But it's not going to stop him doing his horrific things he wants to do over women's bodies, over immigrants in the US, rounding up families and deporting them en masse to countries that don't want to receive them. So what's going to happen? Where are they going to go, Mikey? You mentioned the camps, internment camps. They cost a lot of money. That's not really a vote winner. People see the images of that and they're like, I don't want that down the street from me.
And
People
it's
don't want
expensive.
wind turbines down the street from them. Never mind starving children in fucking huts. So it's, I feel like there will be to Trump. I think that some of his voters will kick off, but not enough. I really don't think he will be stymied in some of the more outrageous things that he wants to do, at least in the first 2 years of his presidency. And 2 years is a very long time in politics.
And those very, very loud MAGA people typically don't work. They don't provide anything. You know what I mean? So like if all
to go and storm the Parliament building.
I mean exactly. Like you didn't see like in most mature, Americans, we don't have to walk around with fucking political t-shirts and shit on. Like you just fucking vote. Like stop being weird. Like this whole like the whole being weird shit, like it's accurate. And it doesn't play well over the general populace because everyone's generally very busy doing their own shit and just trying to keep a fucking roof over their head. No one's running around like, well, what do we do today for Air Trump? Like it's like those people don't exist. And if they do, they're unemployed and they're YouTubers and they're trying to just, so they're a very vocal proponent of a small group. And if the larger group decides that, okay, this is what we're doing, guess you guys need our help. Be a real shame if we just didn't help. Be a real shame you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to help you. It's like if a cop pulls me over and he's like, oh, so where you been tonight? Oh, it's none of your fucking business. I'm not helping you in your investigation. Fuck off.
Hit the fifth, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking to you.
If you do not say something that you later rely on as evidence, that can be held against you in a court of law. But yeah, I think that we have two, different views of how things are going to go down next year. We're not going to know until it happens. Maybe it'll be something in the middle. You'll see a lot of protests on the street, but it does really, really worry me the amount of power that the US president has been given by Scrotus, and then the amount of power that a violent, sociopathic, psychopathic, rapist, racist, orange blob has been given by 70 million Americans who voted for him. We're like, yep, I want that orange blob to represent me, the orange fascist blob. It's beyond concerning.
But
I think that the rest of the world is going to be quite rightly waking up for the next few years, just waking up going, oh, fuck, what now?
And unfortunately, like this is the last time I'll beat this drum, I promise. I pinned you. That's it. Unpin. They just want their shit. They just want their lives to be better. Right. And that's honestly what the Democrats should have run on. Right. I will improve your quality of life. I will make your life less hard than it was last 4 years. They decided to brag about how much better it was before they got there. That it was a losing strategy. Hopefully they understand that fucking shit now, because most of the progressives in the Democratic Party, we're all about to start our own shit. Like, the Democrats are about to be cooked as well. The Democrats and the Republicans are cooked. There will be a third party that rises up. It's not going to be Jill Stein and her fucking Green Party. That's for goddamn sure. But the People's Party, led by somebody like a, oh my God, I can't even think of his name right now. Just dropped it. Black guy with the crazy hair. He's Bernie's friend.
B.A. Baracus.
No, Jesus Christ. He looks like Don King a bit. Oh my God, let me look at the chat. Somebody help me. I can't think of his name. But this guy. Let me just look up People's Party real quick. People's Party. Left-wing political.
Yeah, I just want to say while Mikey's looking that up, thank you everyone for joining in the chat tonight. Don King says Doc David. We'll hopefully
Cornel West
back next week.
Cornel West, sorry.
Yeah.
Because that kind of shit. Because that kind of shit translates whether you're black or white or Jewish or Palestinian or whatever. He has always been about that same civil rights era. Hey, if you want your life to improve, stop being mad at them. Start being mad at the rich people who are making you fight them. That competition, that message resonates a lot different when homeboy is a quote unquote billionaire and he promised to make your life better and he didn't. And we can show that he got richer and richer and all his friends got richer and richer. Now that's a much easier sell to someone who's on the fence or whatever they want to fucking call it. Like, that's a much easier sell. Like, hey, we just want to raise wages. That's what we're here to do. We're here to raise wages and make election day a holiday. And then the next guy will do something else. But it's those small incremental steps towards justice, towards freedom, towards the American dream that make the difference. Because if we just like let the Republicans have it, like have the country after Bush, then there is no Obama. Right, and there is no Affordable Care Act, which the Republicans love. The red voting people, they absolutely love it. So it's the messaging, it's the phrasing, it's the all those things. And now that both parties have truly shit the bed, like the voting for the lesser of two evils thing, people are actually done with it. So we survive this, and then we rebuild. That's our only option.
Can I
I'm not
say something
optimistic.
before you decide to finish?
Yeah.
Can I humbly apologise for being the shittest referee between the two of you as you taking chunks out of each other?
It's all love.
Quite close to have been the person.
Mate, sorry if I didn't hear you.
Hey?
You're quite quiet.
I'll just say,
You might.
can I apologise for being the shittiest referee between the two of you as you not take chunks out of each other? I'm supposed to be the man between, when it comes to, but I've been the referee who does just you two crack on.
It was a good. People like to watch a good fight. It's good for them.
Yeah. No, it's not a fight. It's a healthy debate. Mikey thinks that there'll be three parties in the future. I think there's going to be one party, the MAGA party, and that's going to be America now forever. If any states want to stay in that country, they will. And the states like Michigan and, not Michigan, they love Trump, Illinois, California, states in New England, maybe they might break away and make their own little countries. But yes, it is a little bit heartbreaking that so many Americans looked at this disgusting blob of a man, this disgusting rapist, this disgusting man who led an insurrection against their own Parliament building, their own Congress building, the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., and sold classified documents to the highest bidder, the Saudis or the Russians. He didn't care. A man who's an adjudicated rapist. And, who tried to steal an election in 2020. He called up the governor of Georgia and demanded that he finds 11,870 more votes.
Doesn't that
looked at all this?
Doesn't that show?
Looked at the hundreds and.
Doesn't that show the level of desperation that the people want their fucking financial situation to not be what it has been for the last 4 years? Like
I
that
think the
lets you
financial-
that lets you know how broke motherfuckers really are. Really, like when they can brag and and everyone has new cars, whatever. The money ain't there.
To be more broke.
The money ain't there. So when someone lies and says, "I'm gonna hook you up," don't worry about it, and they buy it.
But he hasn't, Mikey, he hasn't said that though, has he? He said he's going to bring
has.
in tariffs. He's going to make it more expensive.
They think other people, they don't understand what it is. That's what I've been trying to explain this whole time. I said that they were uneducated. I said that they were dumb. I said that they were confused. But you didn't listen. You're just like, yeah, they love him. I'm like, they don't understand what any of this is. None of them read Project 2025. I went on TikTok for a week specifically on purpose to join people's lives and argue with them about 2025. Not one person believed me that it was from the Heritage Foundation. Not one of them believed me. They all said it was from. They all said the Democrats made up the website. They said they made it. They said we made it all up. Well, guess what? Now they will see that it wasn't us after all.
Mikey, I think just to wrap this up, because obviously we've been yammering on. It's midnight now in the UK. It's only 7 o'clock here, but it already feels quite late. But yeah, just to sort of finish on that, I think that you think that people will realise, and suddenly that they'll wake up. The scales will fall from their eyes. They'll have like a road to Damascus moment where they go, actually, Trump is a fucking cretin. Why did I ever believe a word he said? And I don't share that optimism, and I'm sorry for being a Debbie Downer, a pessimist, a sad sack. But I think he's going to get away with fucking murder, literally, because he already has done. It's just going to be worse. It's just, the gloves, the restraints have been taken away, and he's going to do whatever he feels that he wants to do. He's mostly playing golf, but the actual policies
he can't play golf anymore. They keep him inside now. They got the guy out there, so they're not. He has to stay indoors. He's not going to be able to golf anymore.
Well, that'll be interesting.
He's going to be, dude, this is going to go bad for him. And if you think that last crazy dude was the last one, there's going to be 100 of these crazy motherfuckers. There's going to be 100 of them.
I agree on that one. I agree on that. I think if anyone takes him out, I don't mean for dinner, it will be a MAGA Republic. Because they're crazy. They're crazy.
They're crackpots. And you want to unleash the crackpots on everybody. All right. The rest of us know how to deal with these crackpots. He has no idea.
No,
he's going to learn what we already know. That's why we don't rile up the crazies. He decided to rile up the crazies. All right, good luck, brother. Because we're going in our bunkers. Good luck dealing with them.
Well, it's worth mentioning that John Lennon was shot by a fan. Apparently, Gandhi was shot by a Hindu, not a Muslim. Yitzhak Rabin was shot dead by a Jewish person, not by a Palestinian.
Danny's got my back, even though he called me Mickey. Big mistake. Like Mikey said, they don't know what they voted for, but they'll find out. Trust me. Yeah, like they're still in this la la land. Like even to this day, right now, the Trumpers are dead silent. You haven't heard them bragging about his picks. You haven't heard anything. They're all silent because they're all kind of like, oh shit. Yeah. Shit is right. And it's going to be a lot of shit. And when you're ready to fix this shit, you'll get your ass in line behind us and pick up a shovel and help us fucking rebuild this shit. Because you fucked it up. We'll fix it. And just like our previous generations, sorry Gen X, but you're really pissing me off these days. But they literally fucked us over. Like, you just can't fuck over the next coming generation and expect them to, like, respect you and care about what you have to say. We're going to let you guys run around and fuck up. We're going to let you guys run around and fuck up all the shit that you want to fuck up because you won't live forever. But we're going to survive, and we're going to have to fix all this shit. So, go ahead, make your little fucking mess, and then we'll clean it up like we always do.
Mikey, Trump also tapped into the younger votes as well.
Can I say?
Sorry, Darren, what was that?
No, I was just about to say, can I say something before you two carry on tearing chunks out of each other? What you've said to me, Mikey, is a couple of things that has sort of like rung a little bit true for me, because especially when America's been.
No, I loved you.
being a bit selfish and petty. And it kind of reminded me. Remember when the COVID happened? They don't like things that don't like being told what to do, and then when you get told you have to do this, they're not happy about it.
Yeah.
And
the anti-mask crowd.
Yes, and who's in charge then? And it just kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And if these, as you say, when it comes to these tariffs, if things start to impact on their life, I get the feeling it could be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
A lot of small business owners are boned. Like if you make T-shirts, what the fuck? Are you, you know? Or fucking sell it. Or if you sell Hondas. What if you sell Hondas?
The election, didn't it? That's the reason why I lost the election. That's the reason why I lost the election, because for a simple reason, these things, COVID was impacting on their lives. They saw people who, when it comes to whatever happens on Project 2025, they seem to think that it won't affect them. It will affect the immigrants, and also we'll be fine. But when it starts impacting on their lives, and like when you said about the economy, when you said people at middle class working 2 or 3 jobs, and the more and more I'm thinking it's not really surprised that she lost then, really.
Yes, she did not acknowledge them at all. She went for the Republican white women instead of the entire middle class who floated this fucking economy yet again through another fucking tragedy.
Also, now, I don't know where I heard it, but apparently the big thing was immigration. About 82% of people were talking about immigration. And she was talking about abortion. That was quite low, but it was high in the Democratic area. And I'm just sat there thinking, if you're working 2 or 3 jobs then apparently, and you're hearing that your life is shit due to immigrants, legal or illegal, then I just think to myself, I was surprised when he won the way he did, but the more I look at see little bits and bats, I think to myself, I'm not surprised he won actually, especially with her being a woman as well and a woman of colour.
Those all made my chart, by the way.
Yeah, so
Biden was the biggest part. Biden in the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Now we can have the arguments whether he should have made sure that he only served 1 term and
like he promised.
Yes, but then when he decided, do you think when he decided to carry on, do you think they should have stuck with him?
No, because he would have lost by, I don't even know how many, 10 million votes. He would have lost by it would have been a true landslide, like a Reagan-esque landslide. Like it would have been bad. Like he would have got like fucking 30% of the vote. Like between Gaza not being able to talk on camera because you're senile, like all the saving the corporations you want to do, because essentially what happened was the donor class got saved by Biden's shit, right? Like the companies and the corporations and the big money, they got their livelihood saved. But at the same time, there was probably one of the biggest wealth transfers in the last decade, in like the last 2 years. And it came from middle class people from like 30K to 80K. They lost their life savings. Everyone has had to dip into every rainy day fund, everything we had, all the penny jars, piggy banks, everything to make it this far. We had to blow our reserves to make it this far. And you told us we should be grateful that we got it. Yeah, that doesn't pull well.
Yeah, because like it's all about perception, isn't it? Really, if you're still having to pay excess for your eggs or your gas or I nearly said petrol then.
It's fine. I know what you mean. I watch Top Gear. I can translate.
Yeah. No, but it was proper English there. I was
Petrol station.
Yes.
So when you stop at Tesco's, yeah.
Oh no, it's actually Morrison's.
Ah, damn it.
A proper Bradford brand, but you know what I mean. But yeah, when you gas, so it kind of makes more sense, really. And
how much is your petrol over there? I know it's by the liter, but how much is it over there?
You're asking wrong person, mate. I don't have a car anymore.
£1.60.
What is it?
About £1.60 a litre. £1.60 a litre.
I don't know what that translates to gallons. Hold on. Shit, because how much is gas in England? Tell me the answer, internet. Oh, so it's
So 1 gallon is 1 US gallon is 3.7 litres. So let's say 4 litres. 4 litres for a gallon. So times £1.60 by 4.
Okay, I got it here. $5.79 in US dollars. So right now our gas is $2.80 something, $2.80 something. When it gets to 3, people are shutting down. Like that is all they talk about.
Yeah. So what you basically say, once it gets that their selfish and petty attitude will get the better of them.
I mean, it was 99 cents, I think, when I got into high school, and then when I graduated from high school, it was $2.50, and people were fucking pissed, dude, pissed. That's when we started taking the Venezuelan oil, because like, hey, we gotta do something. These people are fucking going crazy over here. Like, they're just not used to it. They're not used to it, and you can try to explain all day that everybody else has more expensive gas than us, and we have it the cheapest pretty much on Earth. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care. You better fucking get it under $1. You better get it done. That's all they care about. And he's not going to be able to do it.
Because, like, as I say, it kind of dawned on me when I heard a little bit of conversation where things really turned against him in 2020 was after COVID, because it really affected people who...
Normal middle-class people.
Yes. You classes who you would say... as you've said a few times, are quite petty and selfish. And once it starts to affect them, and if you're the president, you're going to get it in the neck, come what may. And if I'm honest, I get the feeling there's probably more rational Americans than there are the absolute MAGA nutters.
Well, thank you. Someone thinks that everyone here has a red hat underneath their regular hat. Like, someone who will remain Graham nameless. Let me see here. Let's see. I'll take a look at the chat. Oh, thank you, Staring Into Eternity. Cornell West. Yes. One Angry Pagan says, the Millennials' Revenge. It's coming, y'all. Like, I don't know if everybody's prepared for this, but the millennials all turned 40, I think, last year. We're getting sick of the shit, y'all. Okay? We've been slowly and quietly keeping track of all of your fucking misgivings, and we're getting pretty fucking fed up with it. Like, we're pretty much to the point where we're about to start running for offices. AOC and the squad, like, that was the test group. Just be prepared for a bunch of 40-year-olds running Congress, like, pretty soon here. Because y'all don't know how to win elections because you don't know how to use the internet. And if that's all it takes to beat somebody in an election, you guys are fucking smoked. You're smoked. We stop at Asda Walmart to buy petrol gas and load our shopping into the boot truck. You know what? I don't need you to translate that. Thank you, Samus. Translate everything. I know what the boot is. I don't know why why is it called a boot? I don't know. It sounds very Canadian of you guys to call the trunk the boot. Think about it. I think we've lost Graham, but that's okay because we are now at 2 hours 23 minutes and we started half an hour late. So I guess I'll wrap this up because I don't know if Graham's coming back.
I am coming back. Just give me 30 seconds. I've just got to sort something.
Wow, Dave, you sounded just like Graham there.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do a little shilling here. Hi, guys. Let me do full screen on me. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Ah. Hello, politics social people. I'm Mikey Famine, head nerd over at the Bin Podcast Network. Graham will somewhere put a link down here, hopefully, somewhere, or Ahmad, anyone. The Bin Podcast, that's where I'm from. And I'm there with your favorite Wayne, Shartan, Brenna, and then on the Unboxed Politics crew, I got Tim and Mark and Ollie. I have my own Ollie. And we watch clips of political videos and we give them a rating. A or D or F through S. You know, we give them all the good scores. And you can watch, you know, a 15-minute clip with four knuckleheads laughing hysterically, making fart noises and using our soundboard to make everything inappropriate.
Can't beat a fart noise.
It can't?
Also, while we're waiting for Graham, I'll just say I will do my little bit of shilling because I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
As you all know, I'm daily blasé and I make a complete idiot of myself watching select committee meetings and House of Commons in the UK, and then I just talk utter drivel and nonsense, and then do something really, really stupid, like my last video where I showed clips of me when I used to work and when I took my job. Incredibly professional, and those who did watch it, they'll know what I'm talking about. So if you enjoy all that stuff, like and subscribe.
Do it.
You know you want to.
Do it, or Graham will call you a pussy.
Pussy.
I don't mind that.
I've been called worse by better.
What you eat.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty epic, guys. We did a 2.5 hour show. Thank you so much to Mikey for hosting this. I couldn't do it from here because my internet's shit, but I could dial in. So, Mikey, you absolute bloody legend. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone. Everyone who's dropped in a super chat tonight as well. Thank you so much. And if you want to help Ginger Islands and not go underwater, although it's looking a bit sodden at the moment because we just had the biggest downpour ever. Where Ginger Island is in the world is technically a rainforest. We have 3.5 meters of rain a year. That's 3,500 millimeters on average rain a year. It rains a ridiculous amount. And with the high tides we've been having because of climate change, those two things add up to swamp, Mikey. Swamp. Not in Alabama, but here in Panama. So
again, my mother is in Alabama. You pick a new state.
Buy us a bag of dirt. I've become a dirt farmer in my old age. But buy us a bag of dirt. I'll be incredibly grateful. The link is in the description to the Save Ginger Island. But yeah, thank you to Darren. Thanks to Mikey. Thanks to Ollie as well. And Mikey, do you want to sign off because you've got the big red button to stop it broadcasting, haven't you? Or one credits.
Well, guys, I haven't been to every single country in the world, and I don't have a cool Indiana Jones hat. But wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching, and good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye.